that part right there, that's the hook, and I need you to hook that. Just make sure this is secure and just let this fall. Let this go. Yeah, let that fall because I'm not using that camera. I forgot to set up the tripod from yesterday. I still got it like in an awkward spot. I still got like in an awkward spot. Okay, let me see, y'all. I gotta set. Y'all just like give me 1 second. Let me set this tripod up correctly, or we ain't gonna have no type of live today. At least not one worth anything. Princess, turn off my vanity light over there. Okay, perfect. Here we are here. Okay, Princess, I'm on live, okay? Okay, there we go, y'all. I think I got y'all. Hey, good evening, everybody. Let me close that right there. So I got a sty on this eye. I've been had it for a while, and I'm getting one on this eye. So I'm gonna come on here as I am because there's no way that I keep getting styes, and I refuse to throw my $30 mascara away, and that's the reason why I'm getting styes. I refuse. And I realize that's why I keep having these recurring styes because I keep having my same bacteria. Hi, good evening. Let me put this thing on here for you all. Now, today is going to be very, very simple. Inside of the free course, you are very, very welcome. So inside of the free course you all have access to, I did put information in there for today, and I have the stuff, all information in there. Now, remember, I got in trouble for saying certain things last time. Y'all know where stuff is at. That's all I can say. Y'all know where stuff is at, and I don't want to get back in trouble. Okay. Now, let me see. I don't see what I'm doing now. I had a lot of fun talking to everybody. I really did. And I feel like it was very productive because y'all came very, very prepared. Let me say that. I didn't feel like I wasted my time. And I literally put an hour to the side for you all. I didn't realize, my life is busy. I realize that. But I'm really happy that y'all came prepared with that. My assistant, we do still have the spots because this is just Tuesday. We still got tomorrow. And I can still put y'all on the list now. Like if she didn't talk to you all, you know we're gonna talk. I can write you all down now and I liked what I did today with the appointments. So I can do the same thing. Just make sure you all have your reports together. And I think that everybody, like y'all understand everything y'all need to do, and it's not much. Um, for the calls that I had today. Y'all realize it's not much. Y'all just have to implement everything. And I just bought them. When you say did you just buy them within the last hour? Because I sent you a link. Oh, I shouldn't say that word. I can't say. Um, so I'm trying to make sure I don't say the wrong things. They like really hate on me about this, y'all. It's horrible. I know I need to throw it away. Oh yeah, I need to cut it out because that style it had me up the other night. Um, oh wait, hold on. So somebody said that their purchase, I'm not going over yours yet. Somebody over here said that they had purchased it. So forget whenever you buy this, you all will have the course and you will all get that. I'm all up to date with making sure everybody have it. So if it's within the last hour, you have to wait until after I'm done and then I'll send it to you all. So that's kind of how that's going to work. So I say just get all three of them, but after I get done going live, oh, not that kind of flip camera. Mirror the candle. Here we go. After I get done going live, then I'll send you all information so y'all can get everything. Y'all will have access to the course afterwards. So once you get access to the course, all you have to do is just follow along with where we're at. So we're on day 5. Day 5 today, we're talking about the difference between a FICO and your Vantage score. So you can see right here it says the day 5, and y'all can see right here I say day 5. I want us to stay on track. We don't have that much we got to talk about today. I just want y'all to understand that we have different scores, but we don't have to overthink it. Okay. So I'm going to go over that now. And then if you all have additional questions after I go over this, then we can definitely talk more. Okay. But if you purchase your books from the TikTok shop, then you have to give it an hour for me to be able to send you that link. And I'm going to send you all the link after I go live. But don't forget, I'm going to be live until 10 o'clock. So we got the 7 o'clock class, and then we also have the 8 o'clock class of this same day number 5. And then I'm going to do the 9 o'clock class where I could just answer questions that whole time. I can't send you all the books because of how I'm sending it. But I can still answer any questions that you all have. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go through some of the questions now because we really don't have that much to go over. It's not that many questions. So if you having problems, so I can know exactly what you're talking about, make sure you all text me because I sometimes I just don't understand. Like when I read certain things, if y'all have any problems, text me. It would just make it so much easier. Um, if you all were to like text me, let me like respond to one of y'all comments. I think I can send a text message that way. Oh, last night. Well, you should have got access to the course. You should have gotten access to the course. If you purchased it last night, I literally stayed up and started messaging everybody. I stayed up and I was messaging people like midnight. I know that was so bad, but I didn't care because I'd rather do that than for y'all to not have it and y'all waiting up all night to get it, 467-374-2747. So yeah, just reach out to me if you don't have it, and then I can like when you say, "Oh, this is my name or whatnot," I can send it directly to you that way. Okay, then you'll have access. Um, Same thing for you all. And um, before we get started all the way, I think it'll be easier if I just get this out the way too. Let me actually put y'all down on my schedule. So to make it easy for me, let me do tomorrow is Wednesday, so my little ones are out of school early tomorrow. So let's do calls. Let's do 11 o'clock call, and y'all can put y'all name down. Make sure you already have access to the book. You've been in the class. Let's do 11 o'clock call, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Let's just do those 3 calls because I have certified letters I'm gonna have to do tonight. I have to do tomorrow, and I don't play about those. Like I have to get those out, and those take me it literally take me like 2.5, 3 hours to do those. So I'm gonna do one tonight, and then I'm gonna wake up early and get the other ones down. So let me know 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock. Let me know. And Antonio, I believe that was your name, right? It's right in the beginning. Antonio, I know you sent me something yesterday, and I don't know if my assistant responded to you today. So you got priority dibs on stuff because I seen you for sure. And it was a D baby too. I don't know if that's in this class or if that's in the 8 o'clock class, but let me know and I'll put you all down. Um, let's do this now while I put up a special link, a special image for all of you all so you can know exactly what's going on. Because today is very, very simple. It's not that hard at all, okay? So today is very, very simple. So it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm going to dedicate an hour to answering any questions you have, looking at your reports. So just let me know, and then I'll do that. Y'all don't have any dibs on it? Perfect. I'll open that up to the second class too. But let me add this image here so you all can be able to understand what we're going over today. I think it's effects. It is. Okay, so today we're talking about like the difference between the Advantage score and the FICO score. So I want to make this very, very simple. Can y'all see the FICO score models? So FICO score, think of them as a company. All they're doing is putting your credit scores together. That's all they're doing. Depending on what you're applying for, they're going to look at different FICOs. So if you all are trying to get a mortgage, they're going to do the FICO score 2, which is for mortgages. If you are trying to get a credit card, they're using a FICO 8. They can also use other ones other than just a FICO 8 because we have newer ones too. Um, if you're trying to get an auto loan, they're going to use your FICO score 5, and then also If you're trying to do a personal loan, they may use number 4 or they may use number 5. Now, I just wanted to just throw that out there. Let me actually remove the image here because I know you guys won't be able to see me. So when you all look at your different scores, right? You're gonna have so many different scores. When you go on Credit Karma, that is something called your Vantage score. It's if you were to like Google this, you'll see that we have so many different scores because we have so many different score models. So what they do, a lot of companies, and we at the FICO, they have a lot of different scores. But a lot of these companies, what they do is they get our credit reports, they pull everything in, and depending on the information on there, they have their own algorithm basically. And that's how they coming up with these different scores. Some of them favor certain things, but what I like to teach, because I don't want to make this complicated for you all, I just feel like it's such a secret formula to me of this. This is what the secret formula is, which is going to help you with all of the different scoring models. So y'all don't overthink it, okay? So if you do these different things that I'm going to show you or I'm going to tell you, then you don't have to try to figure out what are they going to do. They're going to do my FICO 2, or are they going to be looking at my FICO 9? What I got to do to get that one higher? I want you all to just do this simple thing because I have found a lot of success for this with this, and a lot of other people have found success too. If you follow these simple rules, you'll be good. Just have 4 credit cards. So just for 4 credit cards reporting, make sure that they're open. Make sure that you keep, if you want like the best credit score possible, keep your utilization at 5% or below. So keep it at 5% or below. Don't have any late payments on your credit reports at all. That's something you got to make sure that you don't have any late payments. Have as least have as little inquiries as you can. Really, like under 5 for sure. Try to have under 5 inquiries. When I was talking to a lot of you all today, I was talking about a lot of credit cards that can pre-qualify you all without a hard inquiry. So I'd rather you all try to get those so that you can avoid a hard inquiry. But if they're going to give you a credit card, then perfect, take it and accept the hard inquiry too. But if they can't give you a credit card, don't give you a hard inquiry, basically how I feel. So again, I want you to have 4 credit cards, don't have any late payments on it, keep the balance, the utilization at 5% or below, right? No negative accounts on your credit report. So I don't care if you don't if you do these things, all of these different, when we talking about the FICO 2, the FICO score model 5, 8, 9, 4, it don't matter. You follow these rules, that score is going to be good, because some people will just get too crazy about this. And I just don't believe in getting too crazy about this. If you can, if you can do it, if you have a mortgage on your credit report, that's going to help you increase your credit score even more. Don't force it though, but if you can get a mortgage, that's going to help really get you to the 800s, and also have an age. So don't close your old accounts, which I believe we already talked about, or we're going to talk about. Do not close your old accounts. Just make sure you use your credit accounts every 6 months, or use your credit cards every 6 months, so that you don't have to worry about them closing your accounts. It's something you want to do. So just make sure your accounts are getting old. Remember, we talking about credit age. Focus on your credit age, and then have a mixture. So have 2 installment accounts too. Your installment accounts can be your student loans. It can be your car that you have right now. It can be a personal loan. It can be also self. It can be kickoff, which we're going to talk about too. So again, 4 credit cards, no late payments, nowhere on your credit reports, no derogatory no accounts, which is bad accounts, nowhere on your credit reports. Keep your utilization at 5% or below. Try to have less than 5 inquiries if you can help it. We're going to talk about removing inquiries from your credit reports, and have a mixture of accounts. And all of your accounts, try to let them stay open as long as you can, basically. And when I say as long as you can, your installment accounts, you can't help it because you have a certain amount of time to pay on these accounts. Once they're paid, they're technically going to be closed. But your revolving accounts, like line of credits or your credit cards, you need to let them stay open as long as you can. Okay, so understand that when you look multiple places, I know somebody said this yesterday, when you look multiple places, you're going to see so many different credit scores. Do not overthink it. Right now, when we doing our book, so like when we doing our book, and make sure you all had did this too. I just want you all, remember we got Credit Karma, we got the Credit Karma, and then we also got the Experian, right? We put those scores. I just do not like this light, y'all. It is what it is. Don't forget, we put them at the bottom. Okay, here we go, right here. We put them down at the bottom of our book. So put your credit scores down there. So we're going off of the Experian here, and then we're going off of Credit Karma for these two. Okay. So the first one, we're going off Experian for that score, and the Credit Karma. That is the only score that we're going to be tracking. But understand that your Credit Karma credit score can technically be 30 points less than whatever your FICO score is. Just think of that. Like, okay, my credit score is probably going to be 30 points less than this. That way, if you're trying to buy a house and you're reaching for a 620 credit score on your Credit Karma, go for a 650 or a 660. Like, do y'all understand that? Because for y'all, in the course, I talk about more things. I can't talk about it. I'm gonna get in trouble for talk about certain things here. But inside the course, I got more information. But right now, only thing that we should be caring about is knowing that your Vantage score, knowing that that's your Vantage score is probably the score you're gonna get with all those credit card companies saying, "Oh, we'll give you a free credit score every month." Also, Credit Karma, that's what they're giving you. They're not giving you a FICO. You'll get FICO from Experian. Okay, so that's how it all works. And remember, just follow the rules that I told you all, and then these scores right here will be good because it's just a formula. It's just a formula of how you need to actually do it. And then also I have the image on here where we actually went over this. So here is the factors. So don't forget 35 of your percent of your credit score is made up on your payment history. That's why I said don't have any late payments. And then also to even have payment history, you need to have credit cards. So have 4 credit cards and have 2 installment accounts. Your amount owed, which is your utilization, that's 30% of your credit score. So make sure that you keep that at 5% or below if you can help it. And then also your credit mix. Don't just have credit cards or don't just have one. Have credit cards, have installment accounts. Also, that's why I say help if you can help it, have a mortgage because that's such a big thing that you're paying on for a long time. And then again, your credit history. Think about keeping your accounts old, like you want to think about keeping your accounts on your credit reports for as long as you can. That's why when people try to get added as an authorized user, if they're buying trade line, they try to buy the oldest ones that they can. Also, they want to make sure that that trade line it has a high credit limit because that's what's going to really help them. Okay, and then new accounts. Think about that as the inquiries on your credit score. So hopefully that helped you all here. Again, inside the when you're in your course, you'll be able to see like the full recording for certain things, images I can show on here. Y'all know what this is. Certain images I can show on here, and then certain images I'll be able to show on here. So I can't show everything, but y'all will be able to see. Do y'all get what I'm saying about the scoring models? And also, you'll look one place is this score, you'll look another place is this score. That's because we got different type of scoring models. But if you was to go off of just Credit Karma, which is what I like. I suggest you just go off of that credit score. If y'all go off of that because it's a free thing, I don't want y'all to continue to pay for anything. Like just go off of that and just know, okay, this is like 30 points less. Y'all might be happy because y'all might find out that it's only 10 points less when you actually get it pulled. But if you shooting to say that it's 30 points less and you tried to hit that target or you did hit that target and you find out it's 20 points less, you got an extra 20 points. Why cry about it? You know what I mean? But at the same time, usually if you stick to that 30 points, you'll be good mentally. So that's what I like to do. I just like to stick to the 30 points. I know when I look on Experian though, if you look on Experian, that will be your FICO because you know we get that for free. That's what we're actually putting inside of our workbooks here. Every day we put it at the bottom. Think of that as like your real score though. Like when you see that score, you know that's your real score because we're getting that directly from Experian and they let us get that for free. You can also get the one from Equifax for free too. I think it's every month it updates. So yeah, you'll get that score for free too. Okay, but just do not take these scores serious. The point that we can get Credit Karma for free, we should just be happy. Like just be happy with that because you know what else can we? What else we ask for unless we're going to be paying for it? And you can buy your FICO, but I say why? Just if you in your mind Just say, okay, this score is 30 points less. Push for the extra 30. If you're crazy like me sometimes, maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to try to get 50 extra points on here before I apply, just to make sure that you're good, then do that. But I just don't think you need to go ahead and pay for it. And whenever you apply for something, they're going to tell you what your credit score is when they give you a denial. And if they don't give you a denial and they give you the credit, why are you caring about what your credit score is anyway? You got what you wanted. You get what I'm saying? So if they give you a denial, you can look on there and say, "Oh, that's what you think my credit score is. All right, perfect." And that's free. You'll be able to have that for free. But think about it like that. Don't overthink it. Don't over complicate it. I don't want to make this thing very complicated. And that's why when I did the calls today, I really did not want to make it complicated. Like with the people that had the calls with today, the ladies I had a call with today, I feel like there was very smooth calls in terms of they know exactly what they have to do now for this class. So when I start talking about this and that, they like, oh no, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And then they'll know what got to do with them. That's why I like to be able to look at credit reports so I can say, okay, this is your target, this is not your target. This is what you need to do, this is not what you need to do. Focus on this, don't focus on that. But I want you all to make sure that y'all just staying focused. And all we had to do today was go over and get just the FICO scores. Let me see if I'm missing anything. So yes, I talked about Credit Karma here with the Vantage scores. Your FICO scores are available for like banks, credit cards on Experian. Know the difference so that you don't be confused with your real score, and then track your FICO score monthly. But again, we're looking at that anyway. So inside of here, we're already tracking it every day right now. So for our 75 days of us doing this is just day 5. We should already have our different credit scores for the 5 days. And then do anybody see any differences? I know like even when we started like on like the first day or something like that, somebody was like, hey, my credit scores are different from when she actually checked it before. That had nothing to do with what we had going on, but they starting to see like the differences. And when you're tracking it every day like that, you're going to see, oh, my credit score just went down 2 points. It went up 4 points. You see like differences. And then two, on credit with Credit Karma, it'll tell you, you could click on see what's changed, and it'll tell you your credit score went up 13 points, and then this is what happened. So you will be able to fix that thing too. So if your credit score go down 40 points and then you look on and see what happened, they said, oh, you got a new collection, then you'll know, you know what, I need to get that collection deleted because I'm gonna get my 40 points back, you know. But I want y'all to not overthink it. All we wanted to do today is go over the FICO scores. So remember, for now on, for the rest of y'all life, y'all gonna know y'all got different scores, period. Y'all got so many different scores. You're not gonna care what your credit scores is in these different places. You're gonna you're gonna see your Credit Karma, you're gonna think, you know what, my credit scores are about 30 points less than what my credit score is on here. So since they're saying my credit scores is 680 on Credit Karma, I'm gonna say it's about 650. Think about it like that. So whenever you apply for anything, you're not trying to do anything unnecessary. You're not straining yourself, because there's no need to strain yourself. But is everybody cool with that? And we already know how often we're going to review our reports. We're reviewing them every month. We already have our dates for the rest of our life. We already said when we're going to do it. I'm doing mine on the 1st of the month. Some of y'all said the first two. Some of y'all like said like the 17th. And then two, I looked at someone's report today. I forgot which one of y'all, but I was like, hey, listen, won't you just start checking on this day, or make sure you move the payment to this day? I suggest that y'all check y'all credit score after all of your credit cards report for the month. So after all your stuff report for that month, that's when you should just say, oh, I'm gonna check my credit scores every day on this day, or 2 days after everything is reported. And Credit Karma will tell you the day that they actually report, because we're going to get into that with when we're looking at the utilization, because that's going to be something very important that we're going to need to know. Okay. Now, I know like tomorrow we have the day 6, we're going to start setting some of our goals. But since we have the extra time today, I want us to start thinking about some of our goals now and like start setting them. And in the beginning of the book right here, we have our SMART goals. I think I talked to you all about this before we actually started our free class here. I talked to you all about our SMART goals. But since we already know what FICO is, we know what Vantage is, we know that we're not gonna care about all these different scores. We're gonna know what our credit karma score is, and we're gonna think, okay, our credit score is 30 points less than what I mean, it's 30 points less than what I see here. And then experience, we're gonna take them serious because they're giving us our experience score. I think that we should be good with actually start thinking about some of our goals, because if we start getting these two things done today, I can actually start getting y'all disputes out a little bit sooner, and then we can start getting like, because when I looked at some of you all's credit reports, I see that some of y'all need to apply for something, and then two, one of y'all just called me and say, "Hey, the two cards that you told me to get, they actually approved me for them, and there was two secure ones. I want y'all other ones. If y'all need to get secure ones, I need y'all to start getting those too. The sooner y'all get the cards, the sooner y'all gonna be able to see y'all credit score increase. Y'all need to have four, period. Okay, y'all need to have four, period. If y'all having problems with y'all utilization, you need to do a balance transfer. I want you to try to get those credit cards soon too. But a lot of times too, you can't get like a 0% APR credit cards if you have negative accounts in your credit report. So we really need to get those letters out. Now, some of you all, I'm gonna have your letters going out tomorrow, but some of y'all just haven't even started yet. So I want to kind of put that in the course, you know. So I don't want to move y'all too fast, but I don't want y'all to move slow either. Especially when I had the calls, I looked at credit reports and I see like how everybody is right now in terms of, if I can just go off of the people I seen today, I'm like, okay, I can see if I'm telling y'all get credit cards and I'm not telling the class, that's gonna be horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to make sure that we're all like doing all this stuff together in a way. And I know we talk about getting credit cards a little bit down the line, but you really probably need to get some of those sooner. And we need to start working on these disputes a lot sooner too, because a lot of y'all probably just not going to get it. And a lot of y'all is going to take forever to send out these letters, and y'all going to be behind. And if y'all get behind, then I don't know what to say. Y'all get behind. So let's talk about some of the goals. Is everybody good with talking about some of our goals, or just getting some of day 6 done ahead of time now? We're gonna still be on day 6 tomorrow, but day 6 is just a lot of work. Okay, make sure I have my phone number right here. Make sure you text me. And then two, I said, hey, I have some spots available. So nobody said that they wanted to do any calls tomorrow. So I'm gonna be open to do my letters. I got homework I still got to do anyway. So I got 2 more days to get my homework done. So I can spend them 3 hours getting a lot of my homework done. I only got two classes. So yeah, I have 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and a 1 o'clock for the people that didn't do a call. This is a question I would say lesson. Those data breaches, can those benefit in some way? Also, the data breaches can benefit. They can benefit you. So if you have a data breach, you can actually. So inside the course, um I talked about a company that will let you know about these breaches. You can actually print that out, and you can actually mail in a letter to the credit bureaus, letting them know that you was included into a credit breach, and you're not sure what information was compromised, and that you want these accounts removed from your credit reports. You can do that and see if they're going to remove it. A lot of times they will remove those accounts from your credit reports if you do just that. So inside the course, it's like a 14-day free trial thing. That's exactly what you want to use. Let me know what time you want, Antonio. 11, 12, and 1, because I said something earlier about I saw your message, but I was already full from the calls that I had earlier. But inside the course, you'll be able to see those links. You did that already, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But all you have to do is just print that out, say using a data breach, and then a lot of times they'll delete it from your credit reports. But the thing is this, though, I really want y'all to understand this, because these accounts can come and bite you in your butt later on, where even if you get these accounts removed from your credit reports, that do not mean you don't owe the accounts. And a lot of times too, if you get accounts removed from your credit reports that way, all you're going to do is make them sell this new account to all these new collection company a lot of times, and then all they're going to do is keep coming after you, and they're going to put on your credit reports, and then I just feel like you increase your chances of them actually suing you, because this new company probably not going to play around like the other company was playing around with just leaving it on your credit reports. So I just rather you go like the way that we're doing it now, where we're gonna just set them up to take legal action. Y'all will hopefully get y'all a check from it, and then y'all don't have to worry about this debt coming back. You know, that's how I would rather play it. Because a lot of people too that do data breaches, like you ain't maintain your credit before, you're not gonna maintain it now. Like if we gonna be honest with ourselves, you ain't maintaining your credit before, you're not gonna be able to maintain it now. Take the time to really clear your stuff, make sure these debts can't come back. So at least it'll feel like you had like a natural clean like bankruptcy. Somebody, I forgot who said it, but they was like a it wipes away your debt. Like I like that how she said it, like y'all want to be like a clean slate. I would rather have that, because if you do the data breach way, all they're going to do is most likely sell your accounts to another collection company, and then now you're going to be in the same boat. And especially if you're not going to start sending those validation of debt letters that you're going to have to send to those collection companies, and then two, you're going to have to spend money with sending out those debt validation letters to these companies to try to keep them off your butt too. So yes, you definitely can use them to your advantage, but I just say it's a better way with what we're doing now. So don't take so much of the easy way. That's like people that used to do like the identity theft. I think of it like that. And a lot of people's getting in trouble for that. And it's not that you're gonna get in trouble for this, because it's not that you said anything other than, hey, I had data breaches before, and you showed them proof and saying that you need to have this stuff removed from your credit reports. It's just that it does not help the full problem. Like it just stops the bleeding temporarily, if you know what I mean. Like it's just gonna be a temporary thing. Wait, what does that mean? I missed that. Like, what does that mean? Oh, this poetry thing. I can't read anything. I didn't even read a book today. Only book I read today was our workbook. The book I read today was our workbook. Okay, so Antonio, and then it's gonna be Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna call you at 12 o'clock. Okay, I got you down for 12 o'clock, Antonio. Okay. Okay, thank you. I only asked because I didn't. When you say it was one from 24, tell me more about that, Georgia. Me too. I need to check too. I'm not now I know, like I'm telling y'all, I wish they put something on my credit reports at this point. They can even tag this and show the judge. I don't care. So yeah, when you actually inside your course, you'll be able to see, like a lot of people, they see the steps to like get your 6 months of free letters. You'll be able to know how to get your report for $1 for the 7 days. I have it in there. It's a company called Identity IQ. Once you actually get that, I can look at it and say, hey, Alex, this is what you need to do. You need to do this, this, and that. Apply for this credit card, apply for that credit card, remove these inquiries. I'll let you know exactly what you need to do. That way, when we talk on the phone, I can see everything. And we're not just talking hypothetically. I just like when I talk to you all, and the people I had a call with today, if you're here, let me know how, like if you was to rate the call 1 through 10, be very honest. Like, do you feel like it was a good call? Do you feel very confident in what you have to do, and how everything is going? Like, do you feel like you're um you feel really good about it? But I do suggest you set it up that way when you're going through days. We're only on day 5 right now. When we're going through the days inside this workbook, you will know what you need to focus on, what you don't need to focus on, because everybody have their own different thing. Even with the calls today, we had different things. We had utilization problem over here, just one collection. Like that's amazing. That's a good problem to have. Then you have, oh, I have a lot of negative accounts. I'm gonna remove it. Another one is, I don't have any credit cards. Let me get some credit cards. It was just different problems, and I have dealt with all of them. So we don't know where you like lay with all of this, but all of these situations, and then also somebody that just got a lot of student loans that they need to take care of. Everybody's situation is different, and they all have to get a different plan based off of what they had going on. So I do think y'all should just set up the call, and then don't forget I'm doing free calls all this week after this week, because I did see that today was like I was like, Julie, I need to take some time for myself. It's like, girl, you only had calls for one day like this. But when you're doing that, and I'm doing calls for the members, I wanna be very present, and I love to be able to do the calls because I love to be able to help, but take advantage this week because after this week, unless you're a member, I'm not gonna get on the phone, and I'm telling y'all to text me, but my assistant's gonna be texting y'all, if I can be honest, it's just the truth. Unless y'all a member and y'all say, "Hey, I wanna be on Rakita's schedule," I won't even probably know exactly what y'all have going on unless y'all sign up for like the premium disputes and y'all a member or something like that. Because I have to stay focused and I have to stay targeted because I do have clients too that's like with lawyers right now. I need to know how their case is going. They not doing nothing. I'm watching certain things. So, I have to make sure that that's the top priority. So if some of y'all get to that stage, y'all know I'm making sure y'all are a top priority. But my phone number is the 407 number if you scroll up. It's in my file. It just popped up. It's dark web 20. I don't know. I don't think you know what? I didn't look at your stuff earlier. We just talked, right? Because that was at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't look at anything. Yeah, I don't want to see it. But I really don't care about this. I really honestly, I don't care about this dark web stuff. I really don't. I just feel like is this is just me personally. The point that I know that we can sue is fine. That's the avenue I just think we should go like seriously. That's what I care about is the suing part of it. Our information being on the dark web, do y'all know that if our social security numbers are out there? So many dark data breaches are out there. That's why I told everybody like yesterday was our deadline. We started the class on Friday. I said, hey, by Monday, have a freeze on your credit reports. Our socials are out there, our date of births are out there, unless you're going to use that information to do like that dispute like I told you all you can do, which I really don't suggest, but some to each their own. It really don't it honestly really don't matter. Like if you see that your information is on the dark web, perfect, and then you can keep that information. So how I would use the dark web, I would like if I was to have a lawsuit with like a collection company and a collection company was to say, "Oh, Your Honor," or something like when you go into trial, which I don't think a lot of this stuff gonna go to trial, you're gonna have a settlement. But if they was to try to wiggle their way out of something like, "Oh, Your Honor, we tried to send her this or send her that," I would have that document to say, "Hey, my information was in a data breach." You can see I literally had a data breach with these 15 companies or 20 companies, and when I got this collection, I asked for the documents and never gave it to me. So I don't know if this is a real account or it's a data breach because I was talking earlier with somebody and I said we got to look at this as um, we are innocent until they prove us guilty. So we don't know what this stuff is. Even if y'all know, like y'all had a collection, if y'all know y'all had like so like one of the clients, one of the, I'm not want to say clients, well, they technically a client now because they're a member, but, or they're going to be a member, but they was talking about a Navy Federal account. And I said, oh, get a Navy Federal account, right? And they was like, oh, I had one before. I don't know if I could do it again. And then we went down and seen, oh, this collection says it's from Navy Federal. But we don't know if this collection really from Navy Federal. We don't know that. They got to prove that they from Navy Federal. If y'all know what I mean. So for them to prove it, they got to have all the documents. And in our mind, we're gonna say we got so many data breaches, our information out here. We don't know who this company is. So y'all just keep that proof and y'all would just use it in that type of way of saying, hey, my information was compromised. It's just proof that you were compromised. But understand that just keep a freeze on your credit reports. Our information is out there. And how AI going right now, everything gonna just look real pretty soon. We don't know. Like, do y'all understand my whole thing about that? Um, I just think that we need to have like certain angles with certain things, and I have to see everything because I don't know, I'd be on another thing. I don't know. I'd be like, let me like see exactly what you all are referring to sometimes because I don't be knowing like exactly what it is. Okay, perfect. So with the again, like with the I understand exactly what you're saying, but I just want to make sure everybody on the same page with the thing on how to use it. So keep that information, but like I would have to see, but that's how a data breach, that's how I would use a data breach. I have access to auto loan trim, but I want to do this the right way. You know, that is another thing too. I know y'all wanna like, with me, you all, I told y'all my thing now is I know I used to be the credit lady, especially when y'all see me in different places. I know I used to be the credit lady that's like, oh, let's get this $20,000 in this, let's get this $40,000 in this, let's add this and let's add that, let's do this, let's do that. I still got a little of that in me, but I'm really about getting y'all money, stacking y'all money, investing y'all money, suing, clearing y'all credit reports, and try to really stay away from debt as much as y'all can because that's just me being honest. And the only reason why I say that is because y'all know, like, one little trip up can just mess up so much of y'all life. I would rather y'all have cash reserves instead of just having, credit reserves. So, like, with trade lines and things like that, I want y'all to build y'all credit on your own feet. Like, even if I see, like, some people got, like, authorized user accounts on their credit reports, I really don't care about that. It's a bonus, yeah, it's good, but I tell y'all to have your own credit cards because at any point with trade lines and stuff like that, that stuff can be removed from your credit reports and it's not yours. Like, you understand, it's not yours. And since I know as much as I know now, and I've been listening to a lot of traders, and I'm Dave Ramsey already got me on another note. Like, we're gonna have credit. I'm going to teach you all how to get your credit scores over 760, but that's going to be a bonus. And that's only so that when you do go and get you an auto loan, you can be able to have those, 2%, or y'all see like those commercials that say like, oh, you can do 0% financing for 36 months on this brand new this. You know, I want us to have access to those things, but not that we need them, but that we want it and that is good for us. So, like with the trade line thing, what I would try to do if I was to help you, I would just try to make sure that your credit is just clean and is good. That's it. So that anybody that look at it, they like, oh, you got it. I just want y'all to have that. Y'all, when y'all want to get into like business funding and things like that, or if y'all want to scale y'all credit, y'all can scale y'all credit. But I'm just not too involved with that. I'm to the point now where I want people to have like their debt. If you got any debt on your credit reports, I'm like, okay, let's make you 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 off of that. Go ahead, invest some of that. Get put some of that down on the down payment on your new mortgage. Go ahead and, pay off your car and put some of that put that into some investments and then, start don't depend on debt like that. You know what I mean? Because it can be like a horrible um cycle. But that's what my mindset is at, honestly. And I'm going to talk about like certain trade lines and stuff like that, but I really want y'all to build y'all credit on your own. Oh, thank you so much. I just know it's like a sweet journey. Like I'm telling y'all. And it's probably just all the books that I'm reading, but I just love it on this side. I swear I do. Especially like I see it as a whole like new world now. Like seriously. It's like a whole new world. I feel like I'm Julia, who is that? Princess Jasmine? Come on, a whole new world. Yeah, so I just like I know like especially if y'all watch like some of my older content, y'all just because I was on a certain thing like, oh look y'all, this credit card, this company right here giving out $8,000 credit cards, apply and do this, this, and that, you're gonna get it. And, that's still cool, but at the same time too, I just want it so that literally when you apply for anything, you finna get it. That's kind of how where I want us all to be at. I want us all to have a certain amount of figures in our bank accounts, and not so much in our credit accounts, because I see a lot of people like I remember when I was buying properties for cash, yes, you can still use credit, but having cash, paying your properties off and being completely debt free, having debt-free real estate was just something that was so lit, and I feel like I didn't, I was so young, I'm 23, 24. I'm having 5 properties. I just didn't understand it fully. Like, with me being 34 now, well, I'm about to be 34 next month. My mindset is just so, so different now, y'all know I'm just it's so much different. I just wonder what I'm gonna be thinking about when I'm 44, where my mindset is going to be at. But definitely I want to be able to help you all, but just understand like if I go on a rant, it's only because I really want y'all to understand me. And I had these same rants with myself. When I talk to myself, I'd be like, girl, you gotta stop thinking like this. We have to be on this note, you have to be on that note. And that's why when I get on the phone with y'all, sometimes I used to be like, like just think a certain way, like this is not helping, or you need to have certain people watching you. You get not getting enough views, or you're not doing that. And then now I realize too, like, help those that need help and leave it at that, because you can be talking to a lot of people and only, talking to them for nothing. That's why I tell y'all, like, don't schedule a call with me if y'all not gonna do what I'm telling y'all to do, because that's a waste of time. I wouldn't care if y'all it was 100,000 people here if y'all just looking at me and y'all not doing anything. That's why I say, like, with the books, I really want us to make sure that we are what we talking about. Like, we're doing exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, credit rich and cash poor. It is a big no-no. That is huge. Especially when you think about what we're going through right now with the shutdown and stuff. 18 billion per day they're losing because of this. And it's a lot of stuff going on. Like, I can see it. Like, you know what I mean? So I just want us to just move in a certain way. So that's why I really want us to kind of get into our goals. But let me kind of go over this a little bit so y'all can keep it in y'all head and kind of see where y'all at. So I want y'all to think about what y'all want y'all next 2 months to look like. I want y'all to think about, and think big too. Because I'm telling you, a lot of my stuff, everything that I wanted this year, I got it. Like, seriously. And I had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me this year too. But I'm still here. I'm still kicking. And look, I'm graduating early too, which is amazing. So I'm still doing what I need to do. So I want y'all to think big on where y'all want y'all credit to be at. Don't forget the goal for this workbook is to have 180 points. So that's just 60 points per bureau. I just think that's so simple. So 60 points per bureau, 180 points in the next 75 days. And then we're going to start this one at 9 o'clock, and we're going to start doing this on November 1st. So let's start thinking about where you want to be at. Some of you all may say, hey, let me just make sure I have my stuff set up so that by time the summertime come, hopefully you already had your lawsuits going, you already been to sue, you already got you some type of checks already. Like, think about it like that. Saying that in the next 2 months, let me just send out my letters. Let me set it all up. Usually when you send out letters to remove accounts from your credit reports, you can think about 25 to 50% of those accounts may be gone after. Just think about it in those terms. They may be gone by the time we're done with this book in the 75 days. But just have a goal on where you want to be. Is the goal is, let me pay off, most of my credit cards. Let me get my utilization under, maybe you at 75%. By the end of this book, let me get up under 40%. Let me get up under 30%. Start think about this. Hey, I got a lot of late payments. My goal is, let me just remove these late payments that's on my credit reports. Hey, Rakita, I need 4 credit cards, and I only got this one credit card, and I'm not even trying to get another credit card. I'm applying for credit cards I know I'm not gonna get, and I'm not getting them, and now I'm just stuck, and I'm just sitting here at the same credit score. I want you to think about, like, some of the goals that you want to be able to hit, and then we're gonna talk about tomorrow how we're gonna actually hit it. So we're going to talk about checkpoints. We're going to write down our goals that we want to do, but just ponder on that tonight. Just ponder on that tonight, on what some goals that you want to hit. And the biggest ones is just, if y'all can do anything, and if I was to have some goals with y'all, just have goals that, you want to say you don't want to have any collections on your credit reports. You don't want to have any collections that can actively sue you. That would be something for me too. Like, if I can have, that's something I would personally say. So that means you make sure you attacking them and they not attacking you. And then so make sure y'all don't have any collections that can actively sue you, meaning that you're actively working to, if you can, be able to sue them. So you want to get those collections from your credit reports. Also, your charge-offs, you want to work to get those removed from your credit reports. If you have any late payments, work to get those late payments off. You cannot get all late payments off. If you really think that you can get all the late payments off your credit reports for real, you're gonna mess around and get the full account deleted. I haven't even seen anybody that can be able to do it unless they got some backdoor to the bureaus, being able to say, oh, I can get all your late payments off without accidentally deleting the account sometimes. So say, okay, I want to remove the late payments from my credit reports. Hey, I know I got 6 late payments, but if I can go down to scattered 2 late payments here or there on certain bureaus and they don't really line up, that's a plus. Think about it like that. And then also your utilization. If you know you have a lot of credit cards, that you need to pay on, say, okay, you know what? Let me see if I can transfer these credit cards to a 0% APR credit card. Like I was talking to somebody earlier, and then we looked at the date. So Discover have 0% APR for that means that they're not going to charge you interest for 15 months, 0%. They're not gonna charge you interest for 15 months. So if you got credit cards, you can transfer the balance. If you owe $5,000, maybe Discover approve you for 6,000, 7,000. You can transfer that $5,000 that you're paying interest on because you hold the balance on those credit cards. You can transfer that to the new Discover credit card. And now you can say, okay, whatever my Discover is, let me divide that by 12 and then let me pay that every month. Or you know what? Let me pay as much as I can. Let me get a second job. Let me do something basically. Or let me get, this is the big one, let me set my case up so that when I get this money from suing, then I can actually use that to hurry up and pay off the bill. But I'm gonna continue to pay on this credit card so that I don't have to be stuck with this. But let me try to see if I can set up my case right now so I can be able to sue, and then I can use a lot of the extra money that I'm getting from suing to be able to put on this debt. But you're going to stop the bleeding because you're moving it to a 0% APR credit card. But set these kind of goals. How much is the car? I'm kind of in a busy place where I can't. So this week, I'm not charging anybody for calls, even if you're not my client, because we're doing this class here. You all can schedule a call, so I still have time for 11 o'clock and 1 p.m. And 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to talk during that time, we can definitely talk during that time. You just say, "Hey, Keita, I want 11 o'clock. Hey, Keita, I want 1 o'clock," and that's just for tomorrow's time. But you can always call me. My phone number is in the comments. You can always call me or text me, and we can figure out some stuff from there. Okay. But how do y'all feel about some of the goals and, you know, a bad debt versus good debt? Yes, it's definitely bad debt versus good debt. Let me see if I got it. Oh yeah, hold on, I did get it. Yes, I'm gonna send you the thing right now. I got it. Thank you for texting me too. It just makes it so much easier for me. I'm gonna send you the link right now. That's not okay. I'm gonna put you down for 1 o'clock. And then text me. And then how I'm doing the calls, make sure y'all have y'all workbooks ready, have y'all a piece of paper ready or something, because with the calls, I'm telling you, this is what you need to focus on. Don't focus on none of the other stuff I'm saying that don't apply around this. We're gonna go over these different things inside the book. Focus on only this stuff. Okay, perfect, Alex. Perfect. And let me know when you got it. Okay, you feeling good? Okay, good. That's how I want y'all to feel. Okay, good. That is really good. That's how I want y'all to feel. But like I really want y'all to adopt my mentality. But as different people have different wins and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to come in here and tell you all about it. I'm also going to talk to you all about other cases. But again, we need to wait till the settlement come through before you before do not try to talk before y'all get y'all settlement, because I just feel like you don't know who's listening, if y'all know what I mean. Y'all never know who listening. Y'all don't know what y'all might slip up and say the wrong thing about. So don't try to talk before y'all actually get y'all settlements. Try to just, stay calm, get y'all money, get it in writing first. And then y'all can talk. Like when I was going through my case, when I was suing, the three credit bureaus suing a collection company, I said things here and there, but I didn't really talk much. When I did the last class, I didn't really talk much in the summertime because I was waiting to get settlements done. And don't forget, I had certain settlements in place. But to me, until your whole case is closed up, don't talk none, because you don't know the people that you're suing. They may somehow get some information. You just don't never know what they're watching. They may get some information, or you never know who you're talking to sometimes. They may get information that they can use against you in the case. And you like, dang, you know. See that right there, I wouldn't know. A 679, what else I'm gonna need to be able to get an 800. Um, because you're all you this is what I say. So I'm gonna tell you what to do just to have the best credit score. And sometimes too, if your credit score is not where you want it to be and you feel like you did all of this, you just need your accounts to start aging, which means you need to let your accounts get old. You need to have some age on your accounts, basically. And so I'm gonna go over this list again. And I'm gonna put this right here on your screen so that they can see it. So make sure you have 4 credit cards. Uh-oh, my phone is dying. I'm gonna get the charger in a minute. But just make sure you have 4 credit cards. Try to keep the balance at 5% or below for your utilization. Keep your utilization at 5% or below. So that's number one. Make sure you don't have no negative accounts reporting on your credit reports, collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, and late payments is also negative. Make sure you don't have those different things reporting. Remove it all from your credit reports. Um, Make sure you have a credit mix. Don't just have, it's 4 credit cards minimum. Make sure you have at least two installment accounts reporting on your credit reports. Okay. Make sure that you are not closing your old accounts. Keep them open as long as you can, especially those revolving accounts. Don't let them close your accounts due to inactivity because you need your accounts to be able to grow old. And then, two, if you got inquiries from on your credit reports that you didn't that you how do I say this? If you have inquiries on your credit reports and you did not get any credit for it, so you apply for Capital One, um, and Capital One did not approve you for a credit card, then that you want to make sure that inquiry is not on your credit report because it's unnecessary inquiry. But if you do those things right there, and then again, try if you can, a lot of people I see that really get to them 800s, they got some type of mortgage on their credit report a lot of time. They got old accounts, and on top of that, they have some type of mortgage reporting. If you make sure you hit all of that, you're like, Keith, I ain't got nothing negative. I do got 4 credit cards. My utilization is at 5%. Everything is good over here. I got 2 installment accounts. I don't have a mortgage yet, or I do got a mortgage, but I just got it this year. You got to just let those accounts get old. You just got to let your accounts get old. That's it. You need age. You know, they look like wisdom on your credit report. Like I've been having credit for a long time. You can trust me, kind of thing. Can you speak about rental trade lines? I don't really care about I honestly don't care about the trade lines being on your credit reports. I honestly don't. Only reason why I say that is because I seen people. Yes. No, you can't get any ice cream. You got ice cream earlier, okay? Okay, go in there for me, okay? You thought you was gonna get away with that, baby. I seen certain people have certain accounts on their credit reports, and then they couldn't, like they thought they had everything, or they had certain trade lines, they had this or had that, and they still couldn't get approved for certain accounts. Like they're like, well, I still can't get a simple credit card, I still can't get this, or I still can't get that. So I just like to do like how I said, do this, do that. I love to stand by that. I really do. I really do love to stand by that. So again, we talking trade lines. I'm really like with trade lines. So this person asked about really trade lines. Trade lines a lot of times is when you adding accounts on there with like backdated information. A lot of times these accounts are not yours. And again, these accounts can come off at any time. I really want us to get to the point where we have our own accounts, we're growing our own accounts, we know how to maintain credit, and we're not dependent on credit, period. So I try not to even really talk about trade lines. I do talk about authorized users, but I don't try to talk about like trade lines. When I say authorized user, I say go ask your cousin, ask your mama, ask somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody that you can trust, that you know is not gonna this account not gonna be removed. And the only reason why I say that, you know how they say like a woman scoring sometimes. But I had a client where I'm a real estate broker. I had a client where he was buying a house and they had a trade line and the thing got removed and it dropped their credit score 70 points. And now it's like you can't get your house, your credit score is too low. So they can't drop an account that's yours. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it now. So I don't even care about like this is we're gonna talk about ways to increase the credit score fast, but it's natural ways anyway that you was it's your birthright in a way to have these credit scores. It's not like we're going to be doing anything outlandish. I don't want to teach those things because once you keep doing stuff like that, it's like that's all you know. You're addicted to that now. Now you can't do anything else because that's like how you be raised a certain way and that's all you know now. I'm just going to teach us how to really do this stuff naturally, honestly. But we are at our 8 o'clock class, so I'm gonna let the people at the 8 o'clock class come in. We're gonna talk about the FICO score models for sure, and then we're gonna talk about your credit score. What's the best score to get a house? The best score is just anything. If you can get your credit score really over like a 760, 750, that's the best credit score to get a house. But again, some people, you have to understand it depending on your situation. Some people will still go ahead and get a house at 580 and then they'll buy down their interest rate. They got something where you can buy down your interest rate. Yeah, you got to pay more money to buy it down, but in the end, it may pay off. um it's different. It's different ways to get around it, if you know what I mean. But the best credit score is that credit score that's going to get you approved, really. And the higher your credit score is, the lower your interest rate is going to be. So if you can have your credit score high and then on top of that you can ask for like seller credits, or you can move your financing around a certain way, so that you can use the extra seller credits to buy down your interest rate, that'd be good. But as high as you can get it, really over the 700s, like a 720s and higher, for real. If you can get it there, especially like the 750, 760, that would be even better. So that would be the best credit score to get the house. How do I get credit score? So I do talk about how to be able to do that, like we're going to talk about like the rental bureau of the rental reporting and stuff like that, but not necessarily just caring about it being backdated, but just that it's reporting. Backdating is cool, but it's yours. These are going to be your actual accounts. A lot of times if you want to get those accounts, Experian Boost, they actually will report like your back information, and those accounts don't come off necessarily like how sometimes it's like a trade line, it can come off. So you can do Experience Boost. We talk about that in here, and then I'll talk about also the rental companies in terms of like your rent, how that can be backdated. But I like the ones that not only do they backdate, it's not necessarily like a trade line in a way. Because when I think of trade lines, I think of them in a certain way. I think about ones that's not yours sometimes. But I'm gonna talk about how you guys can get that stuff reported. But I don't want them just to report the back information, and I don't want y'all to pay for back information. Back information reporting is fine, but I don't want y'all to continue to pay for some of these accounts to stay on your credit report, and you don't necessarily need to have it on your credit report either. Like you don't need to have it on there. Because sometimes people don't even want to have them type of accounts on their credit reports. Y'all have to think about it. When I'm going to talk to you all about certain accounts, y'all might be trying to get business funding, or y'all want to get higher limit credit cards and things like that. Y'all not gonna want certain accounts reporting on y'all credit reports because it's gonna make it look like y'all just, if y'all like, oh, I want to get $10,000 credit cards or higher, you don't want those look $3,000 credit cards reporting on your credit reports, honestly. Because if you do, they're gonna start looking at you like, well, shoot, you got this little credit card, this is where you're gonna stay, kind of, if you know what I mean. I got somebody who got approved for 700K home due to adding rental primary putting so again, we talking $700,000. You know how you get approved for a $700,000 home though? You got to have $700,000 income too. It's not so the amount of home that you get approved for is going to be based off of how much income you have. And I was talking about I was talking to somebody earlier about debt to income ratio. If you got a lot of income, but also if they look at your monthly payments and your monthly payments are a lot, they're going to say, oh, we can't give you that much of a home because they have something called debt to income ratio. Just because you have a very high credit score, that does not mean that they're going to approve you for uh, um a very expensive home. You have to show verification. You got to show income. Like seriously, you have to be able to show income for that. Is having a secure credit card help your credit? Yes, it's definitely going to help with your credit if you don't have any credit reporting. Secure credit cards can definitely help, especially ones that's going to graduate you. That's true because look at they only had money and no credit at all, and he did have to add. See, yeah, he had money. That money is it. So I know we're at 8:05. Let me just finish this last thing and then we're going to get into our lesson because it's going to be very, very important. So, when you're buying a house, how much income you have is going to dictate how much of a mortgage you can have. If you got a lot of debt, they're going to say, oh, since your payments is this amount, let's subtract it based off of how much of a mortgage you can pay. So, if you got a lot of income, but you got a lot of debt, like you have a lot of credit card payments, you have a lot of auto loans and things like that, they're going to say, okay, I know you got all this income, but you spend a lot of it anyway. That's going to dictate, your income is going to dictate how much of a mortgage you can get. Your credit score is going to dictate your interest rate. So that's kind of how it goes. Your credit score is going to dictate your interest rate. So your income is how much of a house you can afford. Your interest rate is going to dictate, I mean, your credit score is going to dictate your interest rate. Your income is going to dictate how much of a house you can afford. That's kind of like if you got a lot of income if you got a lot of income that you can report, um, when you apply for credit cards and you already have high limit credit cards already on your credit reports, they're going to approve you for high limit credit cards. Even if you got a lot of income and you don't have credit, a lot of times they're not still going to start you off with high limit credit cards. They want to see that stuff on your credit report first. They're going to want to see you got to have some type of, higher limit credit cards if you want to start getting those higher limit credit cards. That's why some people, they can have a very low they can have a very low amount that they bring in terms of income, but they still would approve some people for a higher limit credit cards because they have those higher limit credit cards on their credit reports. They got a nice credit score. They like, okay, you're balancing it here. You're going to continue to balance it here. That's kind of how that's going to go. But welcome everybody for the 8 o'clock class. I know that kind of went over an extra minute, but remember, every time you all come in, make sure you all are writing down your credit scores. So we're just trying to make sure that we're tracking where our credit scores are at. So we're tracking right here. Let me see if I can get it to work with the light. Y'all know at the bottom is where your credit score is going to go. I don't know why it doesn't show right over there. Okay, perfect. You got yours on there. Okay, perfect. You already on top of it then. So that's pretty good. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the FICO and we're going to talk about the um you see, we already have all the information in here. You all have access to the course. I put additional information there for you, but I want you all to not make this complicated. I really don't want us to make credit so complicated. And now I'm thinking about that. I was just listening to Jerome before I came on here. He said, do not major in minor things. As much as I think credit is important, I think that there's other things that's way more important, such as investments, cash, and things like that. It's going to be way more important than you having credit a lot of times. So we're not going to major in just making this stuff complicated. We're going to just make sure that we have a certain understanding about these things and we're not going to overthink it. Okay. So today, again, we're going to talk about um, the FICO, and then why is the Vantage score different? So I told you all already that we have so many different credit scores. A lot of these companies, I feel like they just want to come with their own like credit score, basically, and it's true. I didn't say this in the last class, but Navy Federal have their own little internal scoring model that they want to come up with. They will look at your credit reports, but they still have their like internal score a lot of times that they will go off of when they think about should we give them a credit line increase, should we give them certain credit. So that is something that's going to be very important. What are you listening to? What is the name of the author? Listen to Jim Rohn. He personal development. He kind of help with your mindset, how you think. Um, so things like that. He talked a little bit about just having all your stuff together, like you're all over. His name Jim Rohn. He passed away, but he still have a lot of information out there. So look at his 4 hour presentation. That's the one thing I listen to at least once a month. It literally snaps me back in place. It snaps me back in place. But let me actually add this thing to the screen so that people over here can be able to see it because this is the thing that TikTok can actually see. So when it comes down to the different scoring models, so you all have your Vantage score. That's what you will see on Credit Karma. And then if you go to Experian, you'll be able to see your actual FICO score. Whenever you apply for credit, they will most likely give you all access to your FICO score. So they have different models though. So there's different models, different kind of scores. So if you're applying for a mortgage, they're gonna look at your FICO score too, so your FICO 2, and then also if you're doing credit cards, they're gonna look at your FICO 8, and they can also look at other ones just for your credit cards. It really depends on the company. And then also the auto loans, they're gonna look at your FICO 5, FICO 9 for personal loans, and also FICO 4. Don't think too hard about this. In the other class, what I was trying to explain to them is what I want you to do is look at your Credit Karma and look at your Experian. Don't take Credit Karma score serious as this is my credit score. They said I got a 780 on here. I know that this is my credit score. Don't take it too serious in that way. Always think about your Credit Karma as being 30 points higher than what it really is. Period. And if you think about it like that, then you can think about it as okay, if my Credit Karma like a 7, if it says that my credit score is a 780, I'm gonna think about my credit score may be like a 750 in real life. You're not going to know your real score until you actually pull your credit reports, or if you actually pay for those FICO scores. You're not going to know it. But a lot of people, I say, why pay for it when you could just keep in your head that hey, if I look on Credit Karma, I can say okay, my credit score, this credit score is probably 30 points higher than what it really is in real life. And you just make sure that you hit certain things, which I'm going to go over again, and you will know, okay, my credit score got to be good when I apply for this. It got to be good when I apply for that. But when you actually apply for it, and usually like with a mortgage, they'll tell you what your credit score is, but like credit cards and stuff like that, they don't necessarily tell you what your credit score is. They'll just give you the credit card if you up to par. If you're not up to par, you're going to know what it is because it's going to be on your denial. So when it come down to looking at the Experian, don't forget we have the Experian app. We're looking at the experience. So when you're looking at your experience score, you can say, okay, this is my real score. And then also too, Equifax does the same thing. You can see what your score is. So they'll tell you exactly what your score is. Okay. So I want you all to keep that in mind. So in our head, that's why I say right now we're just trying to track our credit scores when we're doing our books. We want credit scores are. So we're going to be tracking that Credit Karma so we can see TransUnion and Equifax, and then we're going to track the Experian. But with Credit Karma, we're going to already know these are not our real scores, you know. But if you worry about just getting that as high as you can, you should just know because you should just know that your credit scores should be like 30 points off everywhere else. Now, I did have some one where they pulled credit scores and they was like, oh, it actually wasn't 30 points off, Kita. It was only 17 points. You can see something like that, but if you thought that it was 30 points off and it was actually only 17, you got 13 more points you didn't even think about. So I say just think about it as being 30 points off, and then let's follow these simple things. And then if you follow these simple things, then your credit score is going to be where it needs to be. So we talked about this already on what day is that? We talked about this on day 2 inside of our workbook right here. So in day 2, we talked about what I'm going to go over with you now. Remember we talked about how much percentage your credit score is made up of this, made up of that. You remember when we talked about that? So I have something up on here where they can be able to see. But if you follow these simple things and you understand also that when you see Credit Karma, you know that your credit score, this is like 30 points really. This is 30 points more than what it is in real life. So if you're trying to buy a house and you want your credit score to be 720, then you need to make sure your Credit Karma say 750. That's how I like to look at it. Because what you're gonna do, let them keep pulling your credit, or you're gonna continue to pay for a credit report to see where it's at instead of just knowing in your head that this is where your score is at you know so that's why I like to look at it like that. Now if you really like, I need to know what it is, then go ahead and pay for it, but I don't want to spend unnecessary money if we don't have to. But this is the things that I want y'all all to make sure that y'all keep in mind and y'all keep intact. Okay, so 35% of our credit score is made up of our payment history. So I want us to have 4 credit cards. Make sure you have 4 credit cards reporting. We want to keep the balance at 5% or less in terms of our utilization. So our utilization need to be at 5% or less, okay? We don't need to have no late payments reporting on our credit report. And this is just to make sure that when your FICO is pulled, it's at the highest it can be, because you don't have any late payments, it's nothing bringing it down. Remember, everybody, if we was all be on a even playing field, we wouldn't have certain things that bring our scores down. So if you had like a collection, you will see, oh, my credit score went out 40 points. But somebody that don't have a collection, they didn't have their score come down to 40 points. So when you remove that, you're going to see your credit score go back up that 40 points. Okay. So we don't want to have certain things weighing us down. So if you have late payments, you know that it's bringing you down. This is the worst thing to me that you can have. I know a bankruptcy can be bad, a collection can be bad, but a lot of times with these late payments, they just mess you up so much because sometimes when y'all just got to see what happened when you get it added to a credit reports, because I see what happens when it's added to your credit report. And then I also see too, like you get a bankruptcy added to your credit report, you got a one-time hit. But the people that I'm seeing right now that's not working on their student loans and they're reporting late every single month, they report late, they're gonna, for one thing, they go down 90 points the first month. Okay. They go down 90 points the first month, and then every month they're going down 20 points, 30 points. Every month they're getting hit. A bankruptcy, you get hit that one time. So make sure you don't have any late payments on your credit reports. We're going to put everything on auto pay. And we talked about some things that you all can do that week. Did anybody do some of this stuff? I said, hey, just pick one thing that I want you all to be able to do. And auto pay was one of them. I said, hey, just put all your credit cards on auto pay. If you can do that, I'll be happy. Y'all remember we went over, hey, pick one thing. This was on our first day or our second day. Y'all said pick write one thing down that you're gonna do this week in this week to improve in one area. One of them was like a one of them was set everything up on auto pay because 35% of your credit score. Okay, Drew, you on another level. I'm like, y'all, Drew is on another level anyway. You doing more than 1 week. Drew she gonna be done before everything. Like for real. Drew called me before I even went live, and I'm like, "Is this Drew calling? Should I answer? Should I answer?" I'm like, "No, answer. You ain't doing nothing but send these messages out. I answered, but you on it, Drew. But did anybody else definitely do things that they need to do? Because I do see y'all are really I see people getting their credit reports, people doing things, but it was a whole list. It was like 20 things. I said, just pick one thing. Okay, Antonio, that is good. Yes, you are learning a lot and you implement it, so it's gonna stick. It's not gonna be a temporary thing for you. You probably gonna be able to help your whole family. Yes, I sent you the text message back, unless you sent another one, because I sent the link to you. Oh, Alex, I see you text me back. I'm gonna look at that at the 9 o'clock hour. Okay. Okay, you did the auto pay too, Drew? Okay, good. Because them late payments are 35% of your credit score. So if we want to have our credit scores the highest it can be, no matter who looking at it, which scoring model that they pull, then just make sure y'all don't have any late payments. So all my 3 bills required by law to have savings information. It's not that they're required to have the exact information. They're required to have accurate information. And accurate information has to be the exact information. That's kind of how that goes. Like it must be 100% accurate. The truth is the truth, you know? So think about it like that. That's how that go. Hi, thank you for joining the fan club. Heart me. Okay, perfect. Oh, you actually came number 16 in the fan club. Okay, perfect. So yeah, they just have to have um they basically just need to have accurate information, which if it's accurate, it's gonna say the same thing on all three credit bureaus. If it don't say the same thing, something must not be accurate. So again, make sure y'all have 4 credit cards and y'all payment history is up to par. Okay, so y'all have 4 credit cards and y'all don't have any late payments. Sometimes when y'all have late payments and y'all trying to remove late payments from your credit reports, y'all will see, depending on how y'all, let me put my phone on charge. I already been through this earlier, y'all. When y'all try to remove late payments from y'all credit reports, y'all might mess around and delete the account. So if y'all do want to remove late payments, try goodwill letters first. Because if y'all asking the credit bureaus to remove it, then y'all have a chance that they may delete the full account, and that's not what we want. We want most likely we want our accounts on the credit reports. Because if you don't want it on the credit reports, then don't even act like it's a late payment. Ask them to delete it. You got errors, deleted. Okay. So we want to have 4 credit cards. We don't want to have any late payments anywhere. That's what we want to do. Now, if y'all get stuck with one late payment here or there, okay, it is what it is. Because we need the account, and we're not trying to let them delete it, or we're not trying to make them delete it. The amounts, oh, again, 5%. Your utilization, if you want to have the highest credit score possible, make sure your utilization is at 5% or below. not only do you want to have the 4 credit cards, but you want to have a credit mix. So make sure y'all have 2 installment accounts. If y'all have a mortgage on your credit score, that's how you, on your credit report, that's how y'all going to be able to have even higher credit score, because it's something about when people have that mortgage on their credit report. I don't know if it's because it's an old, like it can be an old account that oh, somebody hit you? What happened? Princess hurt your finger? Okay, tell her to come. I'm gonna tell Jalea to handle it. Jalea, can you handle that for him? He is mad at them. Guess he want his ice cream and now he want go in there and have Jalea handle it, okay? Because I'm on live. Thank you. Just talk to her quietly. Thank you. I forgot where I was at because he came in here talking about his finger today, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I text you at 9 o'clock though, Alex. Oh, I said something about a mortgage. I think it's because it's 30 years a lot of times that you're paying on it. That is something when that mortgage is added. Because don't forget with your credit cards, you can have those for a long time. You can really have those on your credit reports for a long time. Just make sure that they don't close it due to inactivity. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But somehow when you had that mortgage on there, because you technically supposed to pay on it for what, 15 years, 30 years, it can be on there for a long extended time. Usually like your personal loans, your auto loans, what's that, like 72? Julia, can you go in there and help him, please? Thank you. Listen, usually like if you have an auto loan, usually at the most like 6 years or whatnot, that'll be on your credit reports. So I tell people if you can help it, that mortgage is gonna be able to help you more in terms of increasing your credit score. It's gonna be on there for a longer time. It's not gonna help you in terms of your debt to income ratio, but it can be able to help you. So again, we want 4 credit cards. We want to have two type of installment accounts. So your mortgage can be one installment account, or you could just have like a personal loan. You can have your student loans; those are installment accounts. So personal loans, student loans, you can even just so personal loans, student loans, auto loans. Those can be some accounts that you can have that can be able to help you with that installment because you want to have some type of credit mix. Okay. And also credit history. That's just letting your accounts get old in terms of don't remove these accounts from your credit reports. If you have credit cards, make sure you just using something on your credit card. Every 6 months, we want to just make sure that we swipe that credit card, we use it somewhere, even if it's $20, because you don't want them to close it due to inactivity. I had that happen to me plenty of times before, and I learned that the hard way. Because if they close it due to inactivity and you had this credit card and it had like a high limit on it, it's going to mess up your utilization. Because if you once had a credit card, like for instance, I didn't use my Mattress Firm credit card. I forgot how much that limit was, but say if I had the Mattress Firm, I think it was like $4,000 or something like that, right? I have a Mattress Firm credit card. I don't use it. Now I got $4,000 in terms of limit taken from my credit report. So it's going to raise my utilization, whether it raise it a lot or just a little, it's going to raise my utilization, which is going to lower my credit score, period. Whether it's they're going to lower it 1 point, they're going to lower it 10 points, whether they're going to lower it 70 points, depending on how much of a factor that credit card was with your overall utilization. Like, do y'all get what I'm saying with that? So you want to make sure you keep your credit cards open as long as you can. Spend $20 on it. I say usually spend $20 on there. We gonna have our stuff on auto pay anyway. They're gonna pay the minimum. Usually minimums are like what, $25 a lot of times anyway. They're going to catch that in the auto pay. Basically, the auto pay going to pay that. You don't have to worry about, let me go in there and pay it. The auto pay is going to make sure that it pays that, and your account can stay open as long as it can. Your installment accounts, you can't help that. You pay on your installment accounts for as long as you can pay on your installment accounts. Your installment accounts, period. And then new credit. So those inquiries, your inquiries about 10% of your credit score. Try to make sure that you have 5 inquiries or less. And I say 5 inquiries as in you have 5 accounts that you got approved for, and those 5 inquiries on your credit reports. So when we do our inquiry removal, and I showed you all how to get that letter ahead of time. I think we did that yesterday. I'm going to put it, y'all going to have it inside your course. But when we go and do the inquiry removal, I don't want y'all to remove inquiries that's attached to your accounts. Inquiries going to stay on your credit reports for about a year and a half. It's a big deal, but it ain't so much of a big deal. Inquiries become a huge deal when you want to get business funding. But if you're not trying to do business funding and all of that, don't worry too much, because I have seen people work to remove their inquiries. And then, like said, they got an inquiry with Capital One. They work to remove it. They flag their whole Capital One account. And then next thing you know, that Capital One account deleted from your credit report. So now all of the history you had on that Capital One account is gone now. And I just don't want you all to have that kind of problem. problem. But again, that's kind of just make sure you do that. So just make sure, okay, just keep in your head, I need to have 4 credit cards. I don't need no late payments. Oh yeah, another thing, no negative accounts in general. I don't know if I said that. No collections, no charge-offs, no bankruptcies. I don't care if it take you a little bit more time to remove your bankruptcy. Because maybe, you start working on your bankruptcy, you filed for bankruptcy 2 months ago, is discharged. Equifax remove it first, they remove it in 2 months, or they remove it in 1 month. And then I realized too, bankruptcy is going to be very hard to be able to sue for a bankruptcy being on your credit reports. That's one of them things where you just need to talk to LexisNexis about having it removed, and you need to just continue to send in a dispute letter and make sure that it is removed that way. But I don't care if it take 2 months, 7 months, a year, year and a half is something that you got to keep just disputing or whatnot. But you want to make sure that none of your negative accounts are basically on your credit reports. You want to make sure all of the negative accounts are removed from your credit reports. So you want 4 credit cards, no late payments on there at all if you can help it. And then also, so 4 credit cards, no negative accounts. You want to have no late payments at all. Your credit card balance need to be at 5% or below, just for the highest credit score. We talking about the people that got the highest credit score. You want to make sure that all of your accounts are aging in terms of you're not closing your credit cards. You trying to keep them over for 30 years. You want to keep them over forever, okay? You making sure that every 6 months you use some on that credit card just to make sure that you keep it open. You want to have at the most 5 inquiries on each credit bureau, if less. Some people work too. I didn't say this. Some people work, like if you apply for Capital One, you remove that inquiry before your account is added to your credit report. That is safer. So before the account is added, like you apply for Capital One, they approve you, perfect. You ain't get your what do you call it? You didn't get your credit card added to your credit report yet. Capital One added yet. You work to remove it. That would be a better thing to do other than waiting until it is removed. But you make sure you have 5 inquiries or less installment accounts on there. And then two, when you get to the point where you do have a mortgage, make sure you don't have any late payments. If you do have late payments, send a letter to the mortgage company continuously asking them to remove those late payments. Tell them that a lot of times your late payments can be shifted in the wrong spots too. So just continue to send letters and make sure that they're correcting that stuff. That's how you're gonna have the best credit score. So again, I know that we're looking at these FICOs and we like, okay, which one is which, Keto? Which one is this? Blah, blah, blah. I just told y'all how to have the best credit score possible, period, anyway, right? So just make sure that you follow that so that anytime you go and get your mortgage and they pull in your FICO too, then how that's going to affect you. And a lot of times too, like when you look at the mortgage, there's going to be tweaks. Like if you look at your mortgage score, they're not going to much. They don't consider medical debt like in terms of your mortgage score. But again, we don't care whether they consider medical debt anyway, because what is medical debt? Medical debt is a collection, and we're not having that on our credit report. So we don't care how much you're going to consider it because we're going to make sure we don't have that on our credit reports anyway. Do y'all see how I'm trying to, teach y'all about it and how it's going to go? In terms of just understanding that if you have these things in order, no matter where they look, wherever they're going to get your whatever scoring model they're going to look at, whether we're looking at your Vantage score, we're looking at whatever FICO, your credit score should be up to par, period. And again, when y'all look at your credit karma, you're gonna think about, oh, this score 30 points higher than what it really is in real life. So you're not gonna take it serious fully because you're gonna know that credit score is higher than what it really is in real life. So when y'all think about for day 5 inside of our workbooks, all we need to talk about is FICO, and we need to talk about Vantage. So y'all already see that, hey, when y'all applying for mortgage, they're doing FICO 2. When you're applying for credit cards, they're gonna do FICO 8. And they could also use different ones for your credit cards. It just depends on the company. Also, they're gonna do the FICO 5 for your auto loans, and then FICO 9 and 4 when you are doing personal loans. So just keep that in mind, but understand if you follow the rules, you'll know that your credit score, no matter which FICO they're pulling, is up to par. Because I personally don't care about that stuff. I personally don't. I really don't. I think that there's bigger battles, and if you make sure all of the things that I told you is at the part, it don't matter what they're gonna pull. You know what I mean? That's kinda like, I think about it like when I be running races and people, like when I do a 5K or whatever, when I'm running, and people like, "Did you go and run that course already?" And it's like, "No, I'm used to running 5Ks. I know how long a 5K is. If I run, I don't care which 5K I'm running, where I'm running at, I don't care. It's gonna be the same thing because 'cause I'm used to running. So if I make sure that I can run my 5K no matter what course I'm on, I'm going to run it all the way, you know? If you know about for your job, if you know about a certain thing within your job, you don't care what area you in, as long as you know what it is, or say if you work at like a special restaurant, no matter which, or like it's a franchise. If you know something about this franchise, no matter which franchise you go through, so you know how it works. So if you just know how it works, you can adapt to any location. I think about it like that, you know. But I hope y'all understand it in that way. How do you feel about people with excellent credit but a bad bank score check system? I say remove it. So inside of the anything that you have negative on your check systems, I put the free letter so that you guys can remove all your check systems. I put the free letter inside the course. So remember, anything that's negative about you, I just want you all to remove it, fix it as much as you can. Like, you know what I mean? Some certain things we just, like I said, the late payments, unless you just want them to delete an account or something, which we don't want, you know, just fix it. I said I put the letter inside the course. So if it's something that we don't like, fix it, you know. And that's something that Jim Rohn said. He said, "We're not a tree. Fix it. Like you don't have to stay there. You can fix it. You can change it." So I think about that with our credit. So if you have an excellent credit score or and then your banking is bad, fix your check systems. That was one of the first systems I learned because I was in high school. So people was getting accounts, you know, we be checking check systems. You know, that's what they'll be checking. And I don't really care too much about certain things like that because certain banks you can work around it. And another thing I think about when it come down to credit, because remember I told y'all when I sued certain companies like Community Bank, that was the one where I had a lot of accounts with them. I sued them, but guess what? We talking about $40,000 that I did not have to pay. You know what I mean? I don't have to go with you no more. I don't have to go with you no more. Period. It's other credit cards out there. I don't need to have you no more. But I still was up 40,000. You get what I'm saying? Like when I sued them and they removed all of those debts from my credit reports, they didn't sell it to a new collection company, you know, and they did not come after me to sue me and they say, oh, like if I apply for a community bank, they say something along, we don't like the relationship that we had with you before. All right, perfect. I'll just go to the next one. I don't need community bank anymore. So that's kind of how I look at it. I say, okay, if your check systems is messed up, you know, Wells Fargo, they don't care what you did with other banks as long as you don't mess up with them. It's a lot of banks that do that too. So my thing is that if you try to go with a certain bank and they say they don't like your check systems and you try to fix it and you couldn't get it correct, go find another bank. Another thing too, when I bought a house in cash, my first house, I bought a house in cash. I went to take a $20,000 loan out on it. Y'all know I had to call so many different banks and credit unions to be able to finance me. And when I said I called like 40 of them, because some of them say, oh, I need you to own the property for 6 months. I need you to own it for a year. We don't do small loans like that, or we don't do this, we don't do da 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 da. Somebody gonna do it. So if you find that you do everything you can do to try to fix something and they still don't like you, go somewhere else. Period. You know, go somewhere else. It's other options out there. That's just how I think about it. Thank you so much, Christy. So that's how I look at it. And then if you have a bad banking score, they're not going off of your check systems. Your check systems is if you want to get a bank account with them. Your credit cards are on your credit reports. You know, I don't think that's going to affect you actually getting credit cards unless the bank just don't like you in general. You know, certain credit unions, they need you to have a bank account first before they give you a credit card. Kind of like if you want to get with Navy Federal going to tell you you need to have a lot of times they want you to be a member first, you know, and for you to be a member, they want to look at your sex systems a lot of times too, or sometimes they don't want to look at it if you just want to get a savings account. But sometimes for memberships or if they're going to give you anything, they just want to know about oh my gosh, your check systems in general. That can be a factor. But remember, your credit cards are on your credit reports, your check systems, that tells you what banks you owe. Like, oh, she owe $2,000 over here, and she owe this bank 4,000. That's what they're gonna look at with them. That's kind of how they're gonna go. with that. You're welcome, and I'm telling y'all now, I'm warning y'all now. It's so many different companies out here that can give y'all credit cards. There's so many banks out here that can lend to us. There's so many banks out here that give you a bank account. Y'all know y'all might have credit unions in y'all area that I don't even have over here. I would never get an account with them. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know about them. They're small. If y'all feel like y'all can't get certain accounts, go to those small credit unions. Because that's what I did. I went to the small credit union and I asked my bank. At the time I was banking with Wells Fargo. I got business accounts with Wells Fargo. Um, I had so much stuff with Wells Fargo basically. And they wouldn't give me certain accounts. I went to the credit union, y'all. They're like, oh, we can give you a $20,000 loan on your house. Oh, we know that you're upside down in your car, which means you owe more on your car than what it's worth. But that's okay. We'll just give you a loan for the whole thing, and we're gonna cut your payment in half. Don't worry, Keita. Oh, you got credit cards that you didn't pay? Oh, we're gonna get $6,000 credit card. That's what told me about a balance transfer. We're gonna just pay off those other credit cards, and now we're just gonna put on your $6,000 credit card. This was a small credit union that only had 4 to 6 locations. So don't ever feel like y'all stuck. What one person won't do, the next person will. One bank won't do whatever one credit card company won't do, the next one will. That's just period. And if you feel like they won't do it for you now, fix what they said is wrong. They're going to tell you, we didn't like that you had derogatory accounts. We don't like your utilization. We don't like your well, they're gonna may say sometimes they may deny you saying you got too many new accounts in the last year. They're gonna tell you in your denial, fix that, then come back. And if they still don't give it to you, then it's just too bad. I don't think you should do I didn't think you can do that with credit cards you didn't pay. Exactly what you mean. You didn't think I can do that with credit cards you didn't pay. You mean like with the 40,000? I have 200 cards with 40. Don't add. Yeah, don't. I know you probably, Christy, are you avoiding getting more because you're scared? Like, I don't want to have debt. Uh-oh, what did I press? I don't undo translation. What the heck is that about? I pressed the wrong thing. Are you scared? Like, I don't want to get more credit cards because what may actually happen with those credit cards. You know what? That's why we just gotta have discipline. And if you that scared, what you can do is you got like a small little bill, like you pay for Netflix, you pay for something small, put that small bill on that credit card, put it on auto pay. It's gonna pay it off every month anyway, and then don't use it. Cut it up. You don't even need to know your number. And if you ever need that credit card, if something go on, then something going, you can call and cancel it if you needed to. You know what I mean? Or call them and say, hey, I got something going on. And shouldn't no charges be on there at all. And if it is, we have protection for stuff like that. Oh, you're afraid you won't use them and won't pay them off. So yeah, cut them up. Just put a smaller bill on them. I know I've been there. That's how I know. I know what you're talking about. So I'm like, put a small little bill on it and just cut it up then and put it on auto pay. If you put on auto pay, like you got an $8 bill you put on there that's coming out every month, or whatever it is, your gym membership, um it's $10 a month. Auto pay gonna automatically cover that. Usually auto pay would be like what, $20, $25, at least with my credit card, that's how it is. Yeah, put your Apple Music on there, but don't have an extra one because I don't have Apple Music. Y'all know what I use. Don't put an extra thing on there. But if you have something that you already paying anyway, find the lowest thing that's in your budget. We should have all of our expenses. Like I got mine just lined up. I know exactly what it is. I just find the smallest thing, put on that credit card, put on auto pay, and cut up the credit card, and just call it a day. Because guess what? Your utilization gonna be under 5%. Your account is gonna get old because you're not gonna close it because you're using something. You're using something on that card. They're not gonna close it. You know what I mean? So you're winning. You got 5% utilization because you're not using it, and you make sure you got 4 credit cards. You got 4 credit cards that's vouching for you. Why I tell y'all to have a certain amount of credit cards is because if you have one credit card that just report every single month, you gotta wait for that one increase every month. But if you have 4 credit cards that say that you're doing good, at some point throughout that month, you having these cards report. Do y'all get what I'm saying? They're gonna report sometime throughout the month. You may have one that report on the first. Oh, her utilization at 5% or below. Okay, give her 5 points for that. Do you have another one that report? Yep, this the 10th. Yep, she had 5 points or below. Okay, give her 7 points for that. They're gonna give you points for that. That's what's gonna help you increase your credit score, and so on and so forth. Maybe you got one that report on the 15th, one that report on the 25th, or maybe you got two that report on the same day. That's when you're gonna say, "Oh my God, my credit score will up a lot around this time." Just keep your utilization low, and your credit score is really going up too because you're getting age. You know, once your credit score really start going up because your accounts are getting old, that's the up and it's stuck kind of thing. Like your credit score is going to be really going up and it's going to be staying up because you keep your utilization down, and then these accounts are just getting old. So that's kind of how it is. But I hope that y'all understand what we're supposed to do today with the FICO. No, understand the FICO advantage. Just keep in mind, go over all the things that I said. Make sure you have those things in order and just don't overthink it, y'all. I don't want us to overthink this stuff because there's other stuff we need to learn about other than credit. I'm telling y'all now. There's other stuff we need to be learning about other than credit. So just follow those different things and you should be cool. Just follow different things and you should be cool. And when you look at your credit karma, you're gonna know this is 80 points more. I mean, this is 30 points more than what it really is in real life. Period. That's what you should be thinking, okay? Now, tomorrow we're going to go over in our workbooks. Tomorrow we're going to set our goals. We did not set our goals yet, but I want y'all to start thinking about some of y'all goals today. So I want y'all to think about, in the next 60 days, what y'all want to see. Thank you so much. So in the next 60 days, I want y'all to think about what y'all want to see. So I want y'all to think about, what I want to make sure that I set my case up fully. So if I want to be able to sue, I will be able to sue. Just keep that in your mind. Like, I just want to be able to have it set up so that if I want to sue, I'll sue. And then hopefully, 4 or 5 of my collections are off. Think about it like that. That can be a goal for you all. You all can also have things where, you know what, I want to get my utilization down. I'm at 70% right now. Let me at least try to get to 30%. Or if you got a lot of credit cards, let me just at least get to 50. You want to do something. Again, right now we're talking about credit. Other people are watching TV. Other people are not doing anything with their lives, if we're going to be honest. So whatever you do is going to count to make you better. So I just want to have something that you're doing, okay? So if you go from 70% to 50% in 2 months, imagine if you just do that and you do that again for another 60 days. You go from 50% and now you at 30% and you 4 months in. Do you say, you know what? I am doing good. Let me keep doing. Let me keep doing this. Okay. Then you say I'm gonna go from 30% and now I'm at 10%. This is the sweetest spot. And we're gonna talk about transferring balances on your credit cards and things like that, but just have a goal. Say, you know what, I need to get my utilization down. And if y'all transfer the balance to 0% APR credit cards, y'all gonna get y'all utilization down faster than anybody. If you know what I mean. Your utilization gonna go down faster because say if you have 5 different credit cards that you're paying on, all of them are charging you interest. When you move your balance, like I was looking with someone today, we was looking at Discover. Discover got 0% APR credit cards, meaning they're not going to charge you interest for 15 months. If you transfer $5,000 to them, for one thing, your minimum payment is going to be very, very low, but we're not going to pay minimum payment. Whatever you were paying as the minimum payments on all 5 of those credit cards, keep paying that on your new Discover credit card. So that's going to help with your utilization altogether. That means you're going to be able to knock that balance down even more. And when y'all pay on y'all credit cards, if y'all really had credit card debt before, y'all know y'all can have a $300 credit card payment or something like that, and only what $100 or $90 go to the actual credit card. But now, when you're on a 0% APR credit card, that $300 is going to $300 balance. It's knocking it down because they're not charging you interest. So utilization can be a huge thing that you all can do. Another thing too, Christy talked about how you scared of credit card. You can say, you know what, Keita, I'm just gonna give me them 2 credit cards right now. I'm for this next 6 months, I'm gonna do that. And then two, I'll see what if I got negatives, I'll work on those. But no matter what, I don't care what go on my negative accounts right now. Let me just get those 2 credit cards. Because with whatever y'all choose, y'all gonna see y'all credit scores go up. I want y'all to implement everything, but I want y'all to have a thing that y'all must do, kind of like every day you have something that you must do. My thing is I must have my homework done by Thursdays. I don't care if I do it on Wednesday. I don't care, like haven't did it yet this week. I don't care if I do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. My standard is that I need to have my homework done by Thursday. Last week I did it on Friday and I was like, okay, you got a lot going on, I'm gonna give you grace, but my standard is I need to have it done by Thursdays. period. It's not due until Sunday, but my thing is I need to have it done by Thursday. So I want y'all to figure out what that thing that y'all gonna do for the next 60 days that y'all want to make sure that y'all have done, that y'all not going into the new year with the same problem. I just want a credit card to transfer my balance. Okay, perfect. So you want to make sure you get a credit card to transfer your balance. So you want to do 0% APR credit cards. So um, when you think about this, I want you to think about which one of your credit scores is the highest, and also do you have negative accounts on your credit report? Because when I was looking at someone's credit report earlier and we was figuring out, okay, which one we want to get, I said, hey, get a credit card that's going to only pull Experian, because your Experian credit score is the highest. You don't have no negative accounts on there. You just got high utilization, so you got a great chance of actually getting this credit card. So you have to look on your credit reports and be like, you know what, which one of my credit scores is the highest? Okay, Equifax is the highest, that's fine. But Equifax got more negative accounts than everything else. So I'm just gonna go with TransUnion because they ain't got that many negative accounts and it's right up under Equifax. So you're gonna find out which one of your credit reports and credit scores is the best, and then you're gonna try to get you a 0% ABR credit card with that company. It could be a few of them too, because we're going to talk about these companies. So that's something that you can do. And then also keep in mind too, if you have negative accounts and you can't get a 0% ABR credit card, you try to pre-qualify with a lot of companies, you may just need to work on removing some of them negative accounts, because they may say no this month, but next month they may say yes, you know. So keep that in mind when you think about transferring your balance, because that's going to be huge. Oh, another thing I didn't say too, but I said it in the call. If you know that you want to do a 0% APR credit card and you like, Keita, I don't have any negative accounts. I just had a balances and they don't like it. Try to get some of those easy credit cards like a Care Credit, try to get a Lowe's, try to get an Alpheon. You know, some of those Bob Discount Furniture. You know, some of them store credit cards that like a Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm is like one of those filler credit cards for me, meaning if I was to use my utilization was a little higher than I wanted it to be, it will fill it out because I would never use this credit card, which is why I got closed. But use it every 6 months so you don't have that problem. But get you some filler credit cards where they don't care too much about your, they just see that you got high limit credit cards and they okay with giving you a credit card, even if they think they're putting you back into further debt, they don't care about it. Like the Care Credit, like the Lowe's, like a Home Depot. You know, some of them store cards that give you the higher limits. Sealy Furniture, Toyota credit card, Visa, you know, not Visa, the Venus credit card, these kind of store cards, because they just help with your overall utilization. Such as, say, let's make it simple. You got $1,000 credit limit, right? That's all you got. Say you got 4 credit cards, 250 each or something like that. Your utilization is at, you got $600 balance, so your utilization is at 60. If you were to add another $1,000 credit card on there, now they're going to look at it as, okay, you got a $600 balance, but you got a $2,000 limit total. So then now they're going to say, oh, your utilization is at 30% now. Can y'all see how it changes now at that point? Because now you got more credit available. So now you can cut your 60 down to 30. So if you find that you can't get approved for more credit cards, get those filler credit cards. That's something I had to do before too. When I tried to get like more credit cards and they didn't like it, I was like, okay, let me just get some of these filler credit cards. And that's gonna be those credit cards that have better approve you, because then that's gonna bring your utilization down too a lot. So just keep that in mind. But come up with some of these goals. You know, you may say, hey, I got 13 late payments. Let me just get those down to 7, because you don't want to delete the accounts. You're gonna beg these companies to remove it. So hey, let me get my late payments down. Don't forget, each late payment you get removed off may add you an extra 10 points on there. We're just doing multiple things, but we're gonna have our main thing that we want to do. So I want y'all to just start thinking about what's your main thing that you want to do. Because tomorrow, that's all we're going over. Because I want us to set our foundation, and then I want us to actually make sure that we're tackling everything that y'all have to do. And I would really like to. I have one more. Um, I have a spot for an 11 o'clock call. So today, the calls that I didn't tell y'all this. I did calls earlier. They went really good. I really had fun with the calls earlier, and I really feel like they're gonna do amazing because they asked good questions, and I've seen that they was really making sure that they was on top of everything. So after the calls today, they had a full game plan on what they needed to do, and they was implementing it. So I have time today, I mean tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if somebody want to be on that call, get on that call, but have your credit reports together. Because we're not going to do the call on, okay, Keita, so what if this? What about that? No, I'm gonna look at your credit report and I'm gonna say, if I have this credit report, this is what I need to do. So this is what you need to do. That's the kind of call we're gonna do. I'm gonna say, hey, you need to remove this, you need to remove that. Hey, you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna do that, pay this down, pay that down. You need 3 credit cards, apply for these. That's what I'm gonna tell you. That's exactly how the call gonna go. So I already filled up. I only had 3 spots total. I already filled up 2 spots from earlier at the 7 o'clock class. So I got one more spot for the 11 o'clock class. So I suggest you all get inside that class because when you do your book, you're gonna already know what you need to do. You're really not gonna. Well, you already gonna know what you need to do. You just need to implement it, and you need to track how everything going. Okay, I sent out my disputes. I know how everything going. Perfect. I know I need to get that credit card. Let me get the credit cards. Okay, let me pay down this balance. Some I got some extra money to pay down this balance. You already know what you're gonna need to do. So I would love for us to actually just go over that. So I have 11 o'clock class. After this week, unless you're a member, I'm not going to be on the phone. I'm not, because even today, as much as I had fun, I realized, and could have been a coffee too. I was like, oh, this actually takes up time. I forgot because I'm putting an hour. I'm spacing out an hour for you all. I want to make sure y'all know what it is. Even if we never talked again, you will know what it is. You know what I mean? That's the kind of plan I want to make sure I put out for you all. So definitely, I have that 11 o'clock spot if anybody want to be able to take it. But that's everything that we have to do today in class. If y'all have any questions, definitely let me know. We're really getting through this book. We're about to be a weekend, so that's good. So now we're just going to finalize our goals. We've finalized our goals, and we're going to think about those 7 things that's really hurting you all, and then we're going to start doing that thing this upcoming week while we're doing our disputes. So if you say, oh, I got late payments, I got this, I got like that. Okay, you got to do your goodwill letter. You know, you ain't got no credit cards. Get you 1 credit card, get you 2. I'd rather y'all get, if I say y'all need 4 credit cards, try to get them all at one time. Thank you so much, Christy. Try to get them all at one time. That is good. Like, try to get them all at one time because you want them added to your credit reports as soon as possible, and you want to start building age as soon as possible. So if y'all know y'all don't have any credit cards, try to get your 4 credit cards at one time. So we're going to, when we start doing the book, we're going to go off of the book, but I want y'all to know what y'all need to do. So when y'all ask me questions, y'all going based off of where y'all at. Y'all going based off of where y'all at. Y'all going, like, if you knew that your biggest thing was utilization, you need to come on here and say, hey, Keita, my utilization went down this amount. Do you think I can now try to get a 0% ABR credit card? Which one you think I can get? We may not be talking about no 0% ABR that day in class, but that's just where you're at with the class. I just want to make sure that even though we're doing a book together, when we have the time, the last 15 minutes like we're doing now, if y'all have questions, I answer those questions for y'all. I just want to make sure that we on the same page with that. I answer those questions for y'all. So basically, we got to go over our goals, and then we're going to start doing our disputes. Now, the people that I said I was going to do the certified disputes for you all, or if I say, oh, I'm going to give you this letter, I'm going to give you that letter, I'm going to work on that tonight and first thing in the morning. So I'm going to make sure I send those things over to you all. Um, and then we're going to start tackling these negative accounts that's on your credit reports. That's what we're going to make sure we get done. We're going to tackle these negative accounts. My high score is, you know what? Unique, I talked to you earlier and I forget. Yeah, I don't like that I do that. I can't tie y'all names together. I can't tie y'all to all the way together. What's your real name so I can know who you are? I forgot already. I can't tie y'all together when I do that. I thank you so much, Drew. And thank y'all so much for implementing these things. Like Drew, oh yeah. So if you was to think about Equifax, I would try Truist. Try Truist. Only reason why I say I would try Truist is because I like that you can get approved for 3 of Truist credit cards and they got 0%. I just really like them. So try to see if you can get Truist. And then I'm going to, I don't think I actually separated it yet, but I'm going to separate a little bit more. I don't forget I got in trouble last time for talking about certain things, but I showed y'all the credit cards, right? Y'all remember all of that? Um, y'all can find that there, y'all will be able to see like, okay, this credit card gonna pull this. Remember I was showing y'all that how I had that set up? You know, this credit card gonna pull this bureau, this is gonna pull that bureau, that's gonna pull this. You gotta look there. That's gonna be able to tell you. But I do want to be able to separate it more where you'll know. I dang near want to mute TikTok to say more. You in the right spot to find it. Rakita, Equifax, Equifax hard pull only. You know, you get what I mean. You'll find it because I already talked about it before. So actually, let me type it. Maybe I'm gonna type it to you. Oh, I should have threw this in the garbage. My yogurt. Okay, that looking nice, but you should understand. Okay, perfect. Y'all have any direct questions? Let me actually put my number right up under Drew comment because I got like reply to one of y'all. So y'all have my number. Text me. Okay? Text me. And I told y'all earlier too, if y'all don't remember, y'all can always have direct access to me. If y'all just text me regularly, like randomly, my assistants are going to look at that message. But if y'all know y'all want to talk to me directly or something real serious or something, like you want me to give you a list, you want me to answer it for sure, then ask to be on my schedule and just, pick a time, just get on the schedule, even if we're on the phone for 5 minutes. And then you ask me then, and then I'll tell you. But I just want to be honest with y'all. When y'all like on certain places, that's not me even answering y'all. I pay people to talk to you all because I'm so busy right now. And I focus on people that actually got an active lawsuit going on or they're a member. I want to make sure y'all disputes are going great. The people that's trying to set up the suit, I need y'all letters to be a certain way. And I told y'all when I do the letters for people that's a member, it takes me 3 hours to do one person. So it takes me a lot of time just to make sure that that letter is very perfect. But do you understand what I'm talking about with what I sent you? Do you know where to find it? And then too, don't forget the recordings of these are in you could you'll they're in the course basically. Yeah, so text me right now to tell me. That way I don't have to go searching all around for your number, and then make sure you have your credit report available so we can look at it together. But yeah, that is my number. The one I let me can I pin it? I don't know why they don't let me pin it. But yes, that 407-374-2747. That's my number. So yeah, you'll find it. I talked about it. So I talked about it also for like Equifax. I talked about it for Experian. I talked about it for TransUnion. But if y'all really don't want to know, like if y'all want a certain credit card, this is my ultimate trick that I like to do. If y'all want to know, if y'all want to know how I know which credit bureau these companies pull, I freeze all three of my credit reports. Remember, we had them frozen anyway, right? I make sure all three of my credit reports are frozen, and then I choose which credit card I want. I say, oh, you know what? True has got this 0% APR credit card. I want it. Discover got this 0% APR credit card. I want it. I apply for the credit card, and they're going to tell me, hey, I cannot approve you because your Equifax credit report is locked. Your TransUnion credit report is locked. And then if they tell you to unlock that bureau, that's because they pulled that bureau. Okay, so that's a little trick too. So a push, turn, or shove with any of them. Even if you like find something else that says like you do what I just told you, double check it though, because there's nothing wrong with keeping it frozen and apply for something. There's nothing wrong with that because you're gonna know exactly which bureau they're gonna pull. You're gonna know it like as a fact, like like you know what I mean. They say like in different areas too. They'll say, oh, in this part of the country they pull Experian, that part of the country they pull TransUnion, like such as when I looked at someone's credit report, I don't know who it was. I looked at her report today. I'm like, "Oh, you applied for Discover," and they pull Experian. When I applied for Discover, they pulled TransUnion. So if you have a freeze and you apply, you're gonna know exactly which bureau they're gonna pull. How do we upload the reports? So if you know you want to do the 6 months of letters, just follow the steps, follow the steps that you see for the 6 months of letter. So inside of the course, you also be able to see the 6 months of letter steps. Um, Follow those steps and just have that stuff done anyway. But if not, when we get on the call, I can just log in right then and there because I had to do that earlier. Um, I think for Unique, right? I think for we just logged in right then and there because I created the analyzer right then and there, emailed it to her, and I said, "Hey, I sent you the analyzer. Let's look at it together now." So yeah, that's how that's gonna go. But that's really the end of our class, y'all. I'm still here until 9 o'clock anyway. I'm still here until 9 o'clock, but I really enjoyed both classes today. I really enjoyed having a conversation with you all today because I know it make a difference when you know what you need to do, and it's just about implementing at this point. It was a lot of times where I was confused on what I should do about this, what I should do about that, and I always feel so much better when I have a plan or when I write my goals down because once I do that, all I gotta do is just start checking it off. Okay, I knew I needed this. Let me do that. You start checking everything off. Kind of like I told y'all for like when I did my classes in school, I did this homework assignment, y'all. Don't judge me. I like to like print out all my homework, like I print out all my grades, all my homework assignments, and I like to just go through and just scribble them off. Like, okay, this homework assignment is done. That one is done. I just feel so much better when I know what I need to do and I just mark it off. So I did that homework assignment. So when I know that, okay, I got these two homework assignments due by the 26th, I'm gonna make sure I have them done by Thursday. When I get it done, I can mark it off and I can go through here and see like these right here, these are all the homework assignments that let me show y'all because they can't see it over there. These are my homework assignments I had to do, and I just was marking them all again. It just make me so much better. Like all my goals for this year, I literally hit them. I'm very proud of myself for that. It's only two things I didn't do, but it's for my greater good anyway. I'm very happy about that. Like I'm very proud of myself about that. But I'm happy when I know what I need to do, and all I gotta do is implement it. So yes, I'm very happy about that. So I still had that 11 o'clock time. Oh no, you know what? Alex is asking all these questions. I'm just gonna push trying to shove, just make sure I'm texting to make sure I think stuff together. So let me text. So I need to pay the $29 again to class or for this next. So when you so if you all wanted the $29 is this. So 6 months of free letters is 6 months of free letters. I'm going to create the letters for you. Well, my assistant gonna create the letters for you, and we're gonna email them to you. So they literally gonna have all your personal information on there. All you gotta do is print them. Get you an envelope. This not this envelope though, because I got this little space on it. Get your envelopes. You can literally put all your 6 months of letters in there, put your stamps on it, and then every 30 days you can literally just drop. Okay, my month number one, I'm dropping it. Month number two, I'm gonna drop them, put them in the mailbox. That's kind of how I wanted the 6 months of letters to go. Because if y'all sending 6 months of letters, a lot of times people don't send them certified. The $29 come into effect if you say, "Hey, Keita, I want to be a member of your membership." If you're being a member of my membership, my exclusive credit membership, that means that we are going to mail your letters for you. You don't have to pay for stamps. You only have to figure out what to put in the letter. And then also, with that 6 months of dispute letters, you got to think about it. Those people are just dropping it in the mail. We're going to be checking what accounts were already deleted. We're going to be updating you. Okay, this was deleted, that was deleted. We're going to be telling you exactly every single month what you got to do to change certain things or whatever, right? You're going to have access to talk to us. That's what the $29 is for. You don't necessarily need the dispute letters. You can still say, "Hey, Q, still send me the letters," but you don't necessarily need it because when you're inside of the membership, you're going to have every letter that you really need in there. You're going to have access to all of the stuff that you're going to need inside the membership anyway. Okay, so that's kind of how that work. You don't necessarily need to be a member. You can get the 6 months of letters, but at the same time, if you are going to be a member, you really don't need to worry about a letter. The membership link is inside of the course. I shouldn't say that. I can't say that L word, y'all. I'm gonna get in trouble. But it's inside the course. Y'all have access to that in the course because, well, actually, y'all have to do the application. Once y'all do the application, it's not a link. Once y'all do the application, which everybody gonna do the application anyway, you'll get sent the invoice for that because my membership, my prices are normally this. You're gonna pay $1 to get inside the membership, $1 trial for 7 days, and then you'll pay $79 per month. That's what it is. Or you can say, you know what, I'll pay up front. I'll pay, I think it's like $99 or like, $100. I'll pay up front $100 and then I'll pay $29 a month. Or some people just pay $600 and they don't pay nothing monthly. They in there, for as long as I have the membership. They just in there. So I had some people when it was lower, they already paid for the membership, they paid for the lifetime membership, and anytime they have a problem with their credit, they just call. They just call and say, "Hey, I got this going on. What I need to do? Hey, I got this collection going on. What I need to do?" That's why they pay for lifetime. I can call at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Just have that credit report available, and then I put you down for 11 o'clock if that's the time you want to talk to. So if we get the books and the emails, that's where it's on for the membership. Um, Okay, so if y'all got the books and the emails, and that's where to sign up for membership. Yes. So y'all will see 6 months of letters, and they'll say, hey, do step this, steps 1 through 4. And the fifth step is to actually call us. When you call us, say, hey, I do want to be a member. I know y'all gonna do the 6 months of letters for me, but I do want to be a member too. Can you just send me an invoice so I can be a member? That's kind of how that's gonna go. And then two, I don't necessarily, some people that sign up with me, I don't necessarily have to talk to them because they know, hey, I just want you to do my letters. Or they'll talk to Esther and Esther say, hey, Keita, can you do their letters? I know what I need to do when I look at anyone's credit report, exactly what's going on. Some people don't want to talk to me, but if you know you want to talk to me for sure, say, hey, I'm signed up. Can you put me on Rakita's schedule? That's kind of because you'll be a member. You can always ask to be on my schedule. So that's kind of how that's going to go. If you want to make sure you're on my schedule, yeah, it's going to be my wife report. That's fine. Yes, that's fine. I had a husband and wife on earlier, so we just did both of theirs at the same time. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then let me know too if you want to be on the schedule because I can start getting ready for what Thursday at this point too. But I just want to make sure like this week I get all of the calls out the way. I tell y'all exactly what y'all need to do. And y'all already know what's up. That's kind of what I really want to do. Okay, so what's Thursday? Okay, so let me write this down. So that's Wednesday. Okay, so Thursday, I'm gonna do the same times, 11, 12, 1, but I can actually do a 2 too. So what time you want to do? We got 11, 12, 1 or 2, and this is Eastern Standard Time. And then text me, let me know your number. Yes, we're gonna talk at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Me, you, and your wife. Perfect. That's what time we're gonna talk. And then Unity, you have my number from above. Okay, you want to do 12 p.m.? Okay, this is on Thursday. So text me, and then I got you down for Thursday at 12 o'clock. So we're a little bit, we like 2 hours, I mean, not 2 hours, 2 minutes behind. Y'all know we're supposed to do this class at 9 o'clock, but guess what? It don't start yet. So this one going to start November 1st anyway. So during this time, I'm just going to answer a lot of your questions, especially for the people that's still inside the last classes. So this is the book that we're supposed to do at 9 p.m., but we're not starting this until November 1st. So it's going to be a basically 30 days worth of things that we're going to have to do to be able to get your credit score up 100 points. This one right here is basically what we're doing inside of this book here is basically what we're doing inside of our strong and 75 and what I'm doing at the 7 and 8 o'clock hour, but it's just everything faster. So this book right here may say, hey, look at 4 pages in here, look at 3 pages in here. We're going to do it all in one day, you know. um Let me send it to you now. I'm gonna give it to you now. So that's basically what it is. Um, okay, perfect. Text me now so I can make sure I know where you at. But that's basically what we're gonna do at 9 o'clock. So starting on Saturday, I'm gonna have a full list of stuff that I want you all to work on early. So if you all are already doing the 7 o'clock and the 8 o'clock inside of this one, if y'all already doing it, y'all already ahead of the game. Okay. Y'all think y'all already gonna do a lot of stuff, y'all gonna already get a lot of stuff done. So y'all don't have to really overthink it. A lot of stuff y'all gonna already have done because that's just what y'all doing. So I think around day 4, that's when y'all go like be broke even, 4 days into this one here, that's when it's like, okay, we may be into new concepts now because we didn't get that far. But don't be concerned. The point that y'all been doing this one early for the people that have been like the 7 o'clock class or maybe the 8 o'clock class, you already know so much. You're going to be right on track to really do this, but just implement stuff faster and going to start learning new techniques faster. I know I've been teaching y'all stuff here and there, but this one is going to have straight concepts where all we're doing is removing inquiries. I'm gonna tell y'all 20 different ways y'all can remove y'all inquiries because some stuff don't work for different people, and then we're talking about a lot of times too. Some of you all maybe try to remove inquiries that they're yours. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, to be honest, they're just yours. So you're gonna have to try certain things because some bureaus will allow you to do certain things. Certain things work with different bureaus. So we're gonna make sure that we go over this starting on Saturday. We're gonna talk about steps that you can do ahead of time, just in case maybe some people just been buying this book because that's all they probably saw or something like that. But the people that just been buying this book and they have not been in this class early, I'm going to start telling them things that they can do to be able to make sure that they're ahead and they're prepared for this class because it is a lot of stuff in here that we're going to have to do, honestly. It is. And like for example, I'm going to tell you all on day what day is that? So like on day 21, and we're gonna talk about it early too. But by day 21, I'm gonna tell y'all early. I need y'all to have 4 credit cards on y'all credit reports. But by day 21, y'all better have them. Period. Like seriously, we're not doing it no more. Y'all need to have it done by then. That's mandatory. That's kind of how that's gonna be ran. So if I use your list of credit cards for bad credit, do you suggest we do all 4 applications at once? Yes. But when you're doing it for bad credit, Beauty and Grace, you got to keep in mind just because you go into that list for bad credit, all credit is not good credit. All credit is not equal. So I say if you know that you don't have the best credit score, instead of getting a credit card that have like a higher annual fee, I would say just get your secure credit card. Some people look at secure credit card as, oh my gosh, it's so bad. But I say, hey, just get that secure credit card, like maybe federal, because that's going to go from 200 to 2,000 and it don't have an annual fee. That's going to be better than that person that got approved for, maybe they got approved for a credit card and they got a $49 annual fee and they got a $500 limit. You may think, oh my gosh, I got a $500 limit and I'm going to start with this little $200 secure credit card. But that $200 secure credit card in 6 months, they're going to give your money back and they're going to increase you to $2,000. So every credit card is not made equal, if you know what I mean. It's going to really be based off of your credit. And instead of using the best credit cards for bad credit, my favorite list is the pre-qualify without a hard inquiry. So this is how you do that list. You you go through the list, right? And you look at the credit cards you like. I don't care, be delusional as you want to, because guess what? They're gonna tell you yes or no on whether or not they're gonna give you the credit card without a hard inquiry. So be delusional. If you know that your credit really bad, just make sure that you, instead of putting 5 credit cards on the list, because if your credit really good, you can put 5 credit cards on the list. I'm gonna get all of them. But if you know your credit score is really really bad, then I want you to put 10 credit cards on the list, 15 credit cards on the list. All of these credit cards, I'm going to tell you yes or no without a hard inquiry. So you start at the top of your list and say, you know what, I really want to get this Apple card. Let's see if they're going to give it to me. Apply for it. If they say no, you just check it off and say, okay, I'll try again next month. And then you go back to the list that you have and say, okay, now I got to try for this Capital One, Saver One. I really want this one. You apply for it. They may give it to you, they may not. If they don't give it to you, you check it off. Then you apply, say, you know what, I really wanted this Walgreens card because, I really want to be a couponer. With couponing with this, it's gonna make it so good. I'm gonna get all this stuff for free. You apply for it, they give it to you. You say, okay, I was only supposed to get 4 credit cards, so now I only need 3 more. So I like to just go down that list like that. And then by the end of that list, you should be able to have the number that you wanted. And then you got the ones that you wanted in order instead of me saying, oh, get this credit card or, get that credit card. You got the credit cards that you really wanted, and you kind of got them in the order that you want, if you know what I mean. Now, if a credit card company said that they can't give you a credit card, don't worry, y'all. Try again next month. And I only say this because it's from experience. So I remember I really wanted to discover credit card at one point, and they just will not give it to me. They will not give it to me, will not give it to me. But guess what? I kept applying every single month. Eventually they gave it to me. So I say, hey, if you got credit cards on your wish list, just, every month just apply for it. And then guess what? You can pre-qualify for that card without a hard inquiry. So that's not going to hurt you to see if you're going to be able to get it. You could pre-qualify for it. So I say every month, just keep pre-qualifying for it, pre-qualifying it for it, and then eventually you should be able to get it. Okay. So that's why I say go through the list and see what they can be able to get for you, and you should be good. We'll do understood. Busting down the credit card doors every month. Yes. Yes, every month. Yes, every month for sure. But that's kind of how you do it, and that's how I did it. When I found out, but you're talking to a person that, how I learned this though. You're talking to a person that once had 70 hard inquiries. Y'all remember when you had to get a hard inquiry to apply for a credit card? We don't have to do that now. Now they can tell you yes or no without a hard inquiry. You just got to do that pre-qualification. They didn't have that when I had 70 hard inquiries. Like, y'all remember that? When you apply for a credit card, you got a hard inquiry instantly. It wasn't no, oh, see, we can pre-qualify you. We're not going to give you a hard inquiry unless you say yes. Whenever you apply, you got a hard inquiry, period. That's you talking to a person that was like that. So now we can pre-qualify without a hard inquiry. Oh my gosh, this is like heaven. And then two, we'll teach you how to remove inquiries from their credit reports, but still, this is amazing. I really like this. Like, what more can you ask for if you think about it? What more can you ask for? So yeah, just go down the list and don't get too sad about it, because I remember I was putting in, when I had to do the Discover one, I was just putting in the application, like rolling my eyes, like, because I made it a chore for myself. I put it in my calendar, kind of like I said, check your credit scores every first of the month. That's how I do it. Okay, I put in my credit score every 15th of the month. I'm gonna apply for credit cards because or I apply for the ones that I really wanted so bad. It's gonna get to a point where you have certain credit cards, but it's also going to get to a point where it's a credit card that you want so, so bad. So I said, okay, on 15th, I'm going to apply for my credit cards, and I'm just typing away, just applying. I'm just like, ugh, let me just apply for this. And then I just press enter, and it was like, congratulations, you approved. My heart dropped. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's why I say, just try. You never know. Because I'm talking crap. They're not going to get this to me. I'm just applying for it for no reason. I'm just wasting my time. I don't know why I keep, all the negative thoughts that we need to stop with, because you just never know. You block your own blessing. You need to stop with it. So I'm just like, oh, they're not going to give it to me. And they messed around and gave it to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I remember when I started seeing a shift in my credit too, where it's like, you know, remember I told you I went through bankruptcy before, so I was able to build my credit score where I went from the 500 to the 700s in less than 6 months. I basically did the things that I was teaching y'all inside of here. I just did all of it, and I did it fast. I kept my utilization down, and I just kept working to remove the negative counts from my credit reports, right? So I just started doing all the things in there. But I remember I seen a shift where certain companies did not want to give me credit cards, but then it got to the point where it was like once my secure credit cards started to really age, meaning they start getting older, like, oh, you start getting to the point where it's like, oh, your credit cards that you once had secure, now they're 6 months old, or now they're a year old. Now it's like, they're not going to give me this credit card. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I applied for 4 credit cards, I applied for 5 credit cards, and I got them all. Perfect. Because when you have secure credit cards, depending on which ones you get, someone may not graduate. You may need to cancel them. Like if you get an open sky credit card, that thing ain't gonna graduate, especially for like the regular secure one. But that's a good one to get outside of bankruptcy, because they'll give it to anybody. you're gonna have to replace that with another credit card. So it's gonna get to a point where it's like I need to get another credit card to replace this one because eventually I'm gonna close it. Or maybe y'all got some of them credit cards. Y'all know which ones I'm talking about, the ones that got like the $99 annual fee, but that's all y'all was able to get. They gave y'all a $700 limit or $500 limit. Eventually, y'all gonna have to replace those credit cards. They're gonna get you to a point. You know what I mean? You paid that annual fee to get your credit score higher. You basically paid for them to report, basically. Hopefully you did not keep a balance on it so they didn't charge you interest. But once you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, my credit score is in the 700, I should not have an annual fee with $100 on here. This is not the Delta, but the Delta 150 now, the American Express Delta. I was so mad when I found out they increased my annual fee on that. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But you're gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm in the 700s now. I don't need to have this card. I need to replace this card. Once I replace it, I'm gonna let my new cards get about 6 months old, a year old. I'm gonna pay that annual fee one more time, and then I'm gonna cancel the other one. They're not charging me an annual fee no more. I don't need them anymore. It's levels to it all. You know what I mean? But don't block your own blessing. Look at that pre-qualification list. I showed y'all that a few days ago. I'm gonna show y'all again because we're just not there with credit cards. But I showed y'all the list. It's inside the course. You can watch the video. You'll be able to see it. Put a list of ones that you really want to get. Be delusional. That's what I say. Be delusional. I had somebody say, "Oh, Keita, I really wanted the Apple, so I really want you to build my credit score up so I can get the Apple." I said, "Oh, did you apply for it? What did they say? Did they say no? What they want you to fix?" "Oh no, I never applied for it. I just want to try." I said, "Apply for the card, because guess what? If they don't give you the credit card, they're gonna tell you why they won't give it to you. They're gonna say, 'Oh, I don't like your collections on your credit report.'" And then Apple got a little program too, where if they don't like it, they're gonna tell you what you need to fix, or they'll put you on some type of little, I don't want to call it a probation thing, where they'll say after a certain while you'll be able to get it, but y'all have to try, you just never know. That's why I know so much about credit. For one thing, I messed up my credit plenty of times before. I made mistakes with credit plenty of times before. My parents never taught me about credit at all. And then it came to the point where I messed up so much I had to delete stuff. How do y'all think I know about suing the credit bureaus? I know about suing collection companies. I know how to sue creditors. Y'all know, how do y'all think I even came up with this? Yes, I went to a class that taught me the steps, but I needed to be able to do it. And even before I wrote this book right here on how to sue and get money from these companies or whatnot, I had problems. I had to get it fixed. I had to implement, basically. I had to learn. I had to search for it. So I don't want y'all to be too timid or whatnot with y'all credit. I don't want y'all to be all willy-nilly just getting inquiries and stuff like that. But just apply for it. So if you got a credit card in mind that you really want to get, just apply for it and see how it go, basically. Like, don't be scared, basically. So that's something I'm really going to make sure that I put in y'all head. But at the same time, try to keep credit so basic. Just get your 4 credit cards minimum. Just have your 4 credit cards, and then don't get too many credit cards if you know that you spending credit cards. You spend a lot on your credit cards because you're gonna get to the point where you're so much in debt you can't even deal with it. Your utilization gonna be out of whack, and that's something I don't want for you all. But we go through these different things. We haven't really gotten into applying for credit cards. I had the calls today, and I was telling when I did the calls, I was telling them, "Hey, I think you should apply for this. I think you should apply for that, or try to get this, try to get that. This you need to do with your credit." We haven't really gotten into credit cards, but we're going to get into it very soon. What we really need to do though is make sure your disputes are out. So any negative accounts you have on your bankruptcies, charge-offs, repossessions, foreclosures, late payments. We need to work first to remove those accounts from your credit reports, because I really want you all to just keep in mind that we send stuff certified, period. When we dealing with these companies, we deal with them the same way they deal with us. They track everything that they send to us. We tracking everything that we send to them, basically. But we have to get them 30 days after they receive our letter. We can always apply for a credit card. We don't have like a yeah, student loans too. You may have to remove your student loans. But what about the student loans? Tell me more about the student loans. Tell me more about the student loans, but we need to track it so we can apply for credit cards any point, but we have to get them 30 days. So we on a standstill with these letters. So we're gonna send these out right away, and then we're gonna start talking about more stuff. We're gonna start talking about avoiding your collections being added on your credit reports, and then we're gonna talk about applying for new credit to make sure you're good. I see 8 on my FICO. On Experian, what does that mean? That's your FICO 8 score. So that's the credit score that they're going to use when you want to apply for credit cards. Is that what you're meaning? So this right here, I need to probably remove that. That was from our class earlier. We was talking about Vantage credit scores. We was also talking about FICO scores. Oh, if you want to remove your student loans from your credit reports, you got to do a dispute. The same way you remove any account from your credit reports is the same way you're going to remove your student loans from your credit reports. You have to do a dispute letter. You have to do a dispute letter. You have to mail it in. I suggest you mail it in certified, and you have them remove them from your credit reports. That's kind of what it is. So yeah, your FICO 8, that's basically a scoring model that they have. So we was talking about how we're not going to be caring about these different scoring models, how y'all just going to make sure that y'all have y'all credit score a certain way, period. I mean, y'all credit reports a certain way. Make sure y'all have 4 credit cards. Y'all don't have any late payments, no negative accounts. Y'all have your utilization at 5% or below. Y'all make sure y'all have at least 2 installment accounts in your credit reports. Y'all keeping y'all credit cards open as long as y'all can have them open. We're gonna have less than 5 inquiries on our credit reports. And if we follow those steps there, we know that these court scores gonna be as high as they can because um I listened to another person. I know I talked about Jim Rohn earlier, but I listened to another speech and he was like, all you could do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough. So depending on your credit, if you follow those things, all you got to do is wait on time. If you made sure you had all that in order, you know that all your FICO score is going to be in order. So whenever you apply for a house, you apply for a car, you apply for credit cards, you know that this is the best score that you can present anyway. So that's kind of how we was thinking about these here. And we was thinking, hey, if you see a Credit Karma score, you just know that that credit score is higher than what your real score is because it's a Vantage score. It's not your real score. It could actually be 10 points higher. It could be 40 points, but we're gonna think in our head 30 points. That's how we're gonna think. Okay, we see 720 on there, we're gonna know okay, our real score probably 690. If we see 580 on there, we're gonna think our real score 550. That's what we're gonna think. Oh, I'm happy about that. You're very, very welcome. But always ask questions and don't forget I'm giving y'all my viewpoint only from like experience. Because earlier, sometimes I see other people's viewpoint, I be like, stop thinking like that. But sometimes you view it how you view it because of what you know only. So can a bankruptcy be removed? Yes, a bankruptcy can be removed. So if you want to remove a bankruptcy, what I tell people to remove a bankruptcy from your credit report, this is the best way I have found. What you need to do, you need to remove it from LexisNexis first. Remove it from LexisNexis because a lot of times the credit bureau is going to say that they got it from LexisNexis. TransUnion usually will get your bankruptcy from a company called LCI. As last time I checked, that's where I see that they're getting it from. But just if you make sure it's removed from there, I just feel like you have a greater chance of getting it removed. Now, you want to send out a dispute letter to all 3 credit bureaus and tell them to remove the bankruptcy from your credit report. Now, when it comes down to a bankruptcy, to me, it's a hit or miss because I'm not going to tell y'all to do anything that's going to get y'all in trouble. My whole thing is being able to always sue and being a right to sue. So I want y'all to do it the right way. So I'm not gonna tell y'all, oh, do some identity theft, do some stuff like lying and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell y'all to do it a certain type of way. Oh, okay, thank you so much. But I'm gonna tell y'all to do it a certain type of way. So I think dispute letters would just work to get that removed. And then too, also as much as I do not like disputing online, as much as I don't like it, a bankruptcy, if it's your bankruptcy, I feel like you can't sue for it. So it's to me, it's in that category with how I feel about late payments that's really yours. You can just hope for the best in a way. Because sometimes like I have gotten a lot of late payments removed by sending a letter to the credit bureaus, but too sometimes they'll end up deleting the account and it's gonna be just so much your credit score can go down with deleting a valuable account. So to me, late payments can be a hit or miss because I'd rather ask the company to delete it, especially if you truly been late on it. But when it come down to bankruptcy, just like your late payments, you can't sue them, it's yours. You can't sue them for your late payments, they're your late payments. So this is the only exception. I'm okay with you all disputing a bankruptcy on Experian app. like on Experian app, because I have seen a few times I was able to get it removed that way. I don't know where I heard that at. You know, if I hear certain things, I'm just gonna see if it worked. You know, we all come to this earth as a blank slate. It's rather we gonna personally try it and learn from it, or we gonna learn from somebody else. Period. So I don't know where I heard this at, but I have tried it multiple times and it worked. It's not a guarantee, but it's a hit or miss. But for sure, send out your letters to the credit bureaus and have them deleted, and then also make sure that it's removed from LexisNexis. Period. It's removed from LexisNexis. Send a dispute letter to LexisNexis. Tell them to remove the bankruptcy from your credit reports. And then a lot of times, LexisNexis is not going to get back to you in time. So what they're going to say is, they're going to say, sorry, we couldn't get back to you in a certain amount of time because they got 30 days or they must delete it. They're going to say, sorry, we haven't got back to you in a certain time. We didn't verify it. We're going to remove this account from your credit report and we're going to make the other bureaus aware of it. So they're going to make the other bureaus aware of it. And then they're going to send you a letter letting you know that they're going to delete it. So when TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, your first month, you're going to send a letter out to them. The second month, you're going to say, hey, how did you verify this information? That's what's going to be in your second letter that you're going to send to them. If they don't delete the first month, you're going to wait the 30 days, see what they're going to say. And then when you see that they say it came back verified, you're going to send another letter to them and ask them, how did you verify it? Where did you get this information from? Some of them gonna lie and say they got it from the courthouse, but don't forget the courthouse don't give nobody information. They getting this stuff off of Pacer. They getting it online basically. They getting it from LexisNexis. But if they said they got it from LexisNexis, you already got your letter from LexisNexis saying that it's removed. So you know that they're lying. You're catching them up in that way. So then you can send that letter to them and say, hey, you didn't get it from LexisNexis. I got a letter right here from LexisNexis saying you didn't get it from them. Remove it now. You know, you threaten them that way. But that's how you remove a bankruptcy. It's you know, it's here and there with it, you know, it's stuff you gotta do, but it is what it is. But that's how you're gonna work to remove the bankruptcy from your credit reports. I had two qualified in my email through my credit union actually saying I'm qualified. Well, if they can pre-qualify you without a hard inquiry, try it. You know, y'all know since I had that lawsuit, Capital One don't like me no more, so I can never get an account with them. But y'all know they still be saying, "Oh, we pre-qualify you," and I try to get it. They be like, "No, we lie. We don't like our relationship with you. We had with you. No, you don't like that I basically sued on the debt that y'all had. That's what you don't like." But I did. I was okay with suing though because I felt like they did me wrong. So it is what it is. I was okay with suing. It was beneficial to me or whatnot. But I say try. You know, they're gonna just tell you yes or no and just make sure it actually is a pre-qualification and it's not a hard inquiry. So just make sure that I get that all the time. Oh, what do you get all the time? What do you mean? The pre-qualifications? You get hopefully not verified. Oh, I hate that. But you know what? Verified come with the game. Once y'all I was listening to Jerome earlier. I swear he get me together all the time. Um, so I was talking to the other class about how Jerome said don't major in minor things. Um, but Jerome also talked about you need to find out how things work and work it. Don't care sometimes, you know, how stuff work. You need to find out how it work and just work it from there. Don't overthink it. Like find out how things work and just work it. That's it. So, you know, you just find out how some of this stuff work and you just do what you got to do because that's kind of what we're doing now. I found out these things and I'm just running my mouth telling y'all how it works, you know. And then I just wrote these books saying, hey, you know, if you want to get your credit score up, the goal is with this one, I want to do the 180 points in the 75 days. Work this book, you're gonna be good, you know. And I be thinking too, when people do all the steps up in here, if they really following this, I already know like you no matter what you want to get the house, the car, the credit cards, follow the steps, you'll get there. You know, that's kind of what I think with this. And then this one right here is self-explanatory. 100 points in 30 days, follow the steps. And then on the first I think like the first two pages or something like that, it's a list to say, hey, I want y'all to get these things done in the first 2 days. Get it done as soon as possible. And if y'all just go through that list and start knocking all that stuff down, knocking it off as soon as possible, that's how y'all gonna be able to get y'all credit score up the highest that y'all can get it. The faster y'all do whatever it takes to get y'all credit score up, the faster y'all gonna get results. The only thing that's a slow process is disputes legally, like legal disputes. But since I already went through the phase of like suing the credit bureaus, suing collection companies and stuff like that. And also too, since my professor taught me how to actually get money from them, I'll let it go slow because I know it's a check at the end of that. So we don't want to do like data breaches. We don't want to do identity theft unless you actually have identity theft. I feel like it's illegal if you don't have it. But unless you actually have it, go ahead and do it. If they don't remove it, then I'll say talk to a lawyer. But you don't want to do those things. You just want to go the slower route because you know it's a check at the end of that. But you can still get your credit scores to 700s and still be suing. That don't, you know what I mean? It's still going to stop you. So it's still not going to be able to. It, Having them accounts for your credit reports are still going to stop you, but having 700 some credit score not going to probably stop you from being able to sue them. But I just feel like once you follow these books and you just know the basics of it, you just implement it, you all are going to be good. But if you see like if a company say, "Oh, we can pre-qualify you for this or we can pre-qualify you for that," call them on a bluff. "Oh, you can. Okay, let's see." And if they don't do it, they don't do it. But you know what they say with that thing. I got all of the sayings now today, don't I? I don't know. I'm on one today. They talk about you can never win if you don't try. Like you know, somebody that never tried can never win. If you never apply for the credit card, you'll never get it. You'll never know. So just try. It's a pre-qualification. I think that that's a good thing. I really do. Like the point that pre-qualifications are there is just everything to me. Thank you so much. I really hope that y'all learning a lot because I am putting a lot into this. But you know, with a lot of stuff that's going on every day, I'll be like, I don't want, I know it's gonna be hectic when I go to law school, and I know I'm gonna have some type of, I know I'm gonna neglect y'all some. That's why I really want to make sure that I'm really pouring everything I can into you all now, because when I go to law school and with me helping with cases and lawyers and stuff now, imagine when I actually step my foot into law school what I'm gonna be like. I just feel like I'm gonna be such a beast. So I want to teach y'all everything I can now so that it's foundational now. Y'all know the basics. Now y'all can be like, oh, so what law going on? What's this going on? How can you implement that? How can you do this? Y'all to be on another level. They refuse to validate that these days. I already know, and that's why y'all gotta sue them. That, let them not validate the debt. Sue them, get some money. Who cares? And then hope that the credit bureaus won't let them not validate the debt. Because that's what the damage is. You're telling the world that I got a collection that you never validated. I would let them. I wouldn't care. Let them not validate the debt. I just have a paper trail on them not validating the debt. I would have a paper trail with them not validating the debt. I would apply for some credit cards. My denials that I get, I would just keep them. I would just keep them. This is the stuff that I've been heard in terms of this is how it goes, and then I found out this is how attorneys are actually suing and things like that, looking on Pacer. And then when I went to school, my professor said this is how federal court work. This right here is my notes on when I took two classes in school. These was my notes, and then I actually implemented it. I started just implementing. Okay, I need to make sure I have my disputes in order. The federal law say you need to do this. You need to tell the credit bureaus to remove it first. If the credit bureaus not remove it, then you could talk to the collection company. You can't talk to the collection company until you talk to credit bureaus first. Okay, so the first month I'm gonna talk to the credit bureaus. I'm gonna ask the credit bureaus what's up with this collection. And then they're gonna say, "Oh, it's verified. I talked to the company. They said it's yours." Oh, they did. All right. They're gonna say it's verified. Then you're gonna say, "Well, how was it verified?" Oh, I talked to the company. They said it's verified. Then you're gonna ask the collection company, "How did you verify this debt? Um, please send me all information on this debt." Basically, and they're not going to want to send you the information. They just don't do it, and a lot of times they don't have it to give it to you. I just I gotta look at my agreement. Gotta look at my settlement agreement because I do want to talk about what I learned in court. Um, y'all text me if y'all got questions. That's all I can say. It's something that was really big that I learned in court, and it hit me like I'm telling you, it hit me so hard. Hold on, wait, I got it right here. I got my settlement agreement right here. I'm gonna read it real quick because I gotta say this to y'all. Because I want to be able to continue to say this one thing. Oh, is it not here? I shredded it because it was at one that I was editing it. Oh no. Dang. Well, guess what? I can say this. I can't say what I wanted to say, but I can say this. All you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough. It's whether you got it or you don't got it. Period. That's something I learned. So in regards to you saying, um, what was that comment at again? They refuse to validate the debt. Well, the law says this. You can't validate it, then I just gotta sue you. You ain't got the documents, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's all I would say. Because that was something I thought about too with school. The professor made it very clear in my second civil litigation class that when you do certain lawsuits, these are the documents that you can ask for. If they don't have the documents, that's helping you. Think about it like that. If they don't have it, it's helping you. Period. Um if you are, for example, if like, we talked about a medical case, or we talked about a car accident, if a company is saying that these are the laws, these are the rules, but they don't have it written down or they don't have proof of these things, they help you because they can't use it against you. But if it is a law and they don't have these certain things and you like they supposed to have it, it helps you. That's what I'm gonna say about it. But I wish I could have said what I wanted to say, but this is something that's going to be very, very important because we cannot, all we can do is all we can do. I found out these are the rules and, you just implement it the correct way. And I have the steps up inside of this, right? I have the steps inside of this because all of the people, that we're doing the class right now. So we're doing this book right now. We in day number 5, right? This book right here, people got collections on their credit reports. Like when I was looking at collections today, I said, "Oh, I see errors." I didn't care of did you pay this or so what did they say? I didn't ask them no questions like that because that don't matter. You're innocent until they prove you guilty. They can put anybody can put something on your credit report. That don't mean it's right. The credit bureaus will take anything. They'll take anything to bid. You put that stuff on a credit report, they'll basically take anything. So while we're going through this book, if you have collections, we're gonna already be setting up to sue them if they don't follow the rules, basically. I'm not acting as nobody attorney. I'm not trying to give y'all legal advice. I'm just talking to y'all about what it is, what I have experienced, so we're already going to be setting up to be able to do this. Now, this book right here, which is the 9 o'clock class, which y'all technically here doing a 9 o'clock class, but this don't start until November 1st. You're going to do 1 month of dispute letters, but you need to really do 3 months. You're gonna do 1 month in 30 days, and then whatever you get deleted from that month, you're gonna add that to your 100 points, basically, right? This one right here is 75 days. So you're gonna do 2 months of dispute letters, and then your last letter gonna be that demand letter, which is what I would think you would do, like a demand letter. Basically demanding, hey, give me $10,000, delete this from my credit report, or I'm going to sue you. That's what it is. When I tell y'all I have been able to delete um multiple accounts from people credit reports. Only reason why I even did these certain lawsuits is because I could not get it removed from mine. And I was just so I kept saying too to these people too, like, oh, you couldn't get it deleted. Maybe talk to an attorney. They said we can be able to sue for certain things, or I had sued my creditors and I got it removed. Because that's the only lawsuit I had at the time, and people just didn't want to do it. But when it happened to me, I'm not going to sit back and let it happen to me. I would tell y'all everything, but let something happen to me, I'm going to take action. I could tell y'all every day, like, oh, I heard about this or I heard about that. But if it happened to me, I'm going to take action. I'm going to take certain type of action. So all I can do is tell y'all, if they ain't got something, then that's good for you. What they say, whoop de doo. If you ain't got it, I'm suing you. Whoop de doo. You talking about You are talking about now any video. What do you mean, Alex, by you are talking about now any video? Are you saying what I'm talking about now, is it already in any video? Is that what you're saying? Yes, you definitely need that book. But trust me, you get that book. Whoever get that book, you show me you got that book, I'm gonna talk to you. I don't care if I'm in law school 2 years in. I don't care if you get that book. We 5 years in talking. I don't be knowing. I'm gonna know a lot by then. But I don't care. I'm gonna talk to you all about it. It's been 6 months and they only send billing statements to me, and that's number one on the list to get. Yeah, that's all they got though. That's all they got. You know what? I just want to say something, but I don't want to get in trouble, y'all. It's like once you have certain things, you can say certain things. You can't say certain things. I can't say certain things. I can't say certain things. Um, okay. Oh, the suing video. So what exactly y'all want me to say about the suing? Y'all want me to go through all the process and suing? I can go through all the steps and then y'all can read about the steps because just all that book is just telling you the steps. We can talk about suing right now. This can be the video. It's not very hard. We can talk about it right now. Maybe Federal may give your account back. I honestly don't know. But I know Capital One didn't give me my back when I overdraft my credit card. Okay, hold on. Okay, perfect. But I heard Navy Federal is forgiving. They are forgiving sometimes. They are forgiving. They are a credit union, they are forgiving. How long does it take to sue? Okay, so let me talk about what I can talk about with my last case. Let's do that. So I can only talk about what's public record. Let me make that be clear. Okay. So first, before I talk about my case, knowing what I know now from what my professor taught me about suing. Okay, what my professor taught me about suing, and now I know about the steps when I've been investigating the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Knowing what I know now, if I was to get a collection on my credit report, based off of what I learned from my professor. This is what I learned from my professor, and this is also what I learned by studying the laws. Because I've been studying the laws, I got books in here, I've been studying this. So this is not just about just my case. This is just all together. Knowing what I know now, if I have a collection on my credit report, the first month I'm gonna send a letter to the credit bureaus, and I'm gonna make sure that I send it certified, right? I'm gonna wait 30 days. I'm gonna send a letter to the credit bureaus at that point, and then I'm gonna send a letter to each collection company or whoever on my credit report. So now we 2 months in. So we gotta wait 30 days for the first one, 30 days for the second one. On the third month, I'm sending them a demand letter. I'm saying give me $10,000 or delete this from my credit report. Period. And I got that inside of here. So it's gonna tell you, hey, this is what you gotta do, these are steps. That's what I'm doing, period. If they do not delete it from my credit report, or and depending on how y'all feel too, if it's deleted from your credit report, they don't send you money. At that point, you can say, you know what, it's gone. It's 3 months. That's fine. It can be kind of an uphill. I won't say it'd be an uphill battle, but it's from your credit report. It's off your credit report now. It is what it is, right? And then two, during that time, I apply for credit cards. If I can't get credit cards and I got denials and they say, hey, I denied you because you got these collections on your credit reports, then what I'm gonna do is I probably get them 15 days and then I'm gonna file a lawsuit. Period. Right? I'm gonna file a lawsuit. Now let me switch over now into what happened with my case that's public record. August, I mean not August, October or November of last year. I believe in October of last year, I filed my lawsuit against all three credit bureaus and also at all three credit bureaus and also LJ Ross, which is a collection company, right? I filed my lawsuit in October. They were served in November, December, these times. Equifax settled with me in December. So I filed in October. Equifax settled with me in December. See, I see how the time frame can be going. Equifax already settled with me in December. Right after that, TransUnion settled with me publicly. Publicly, it was a notice of settlement filed. And then also after that, experience settled with me. I finally had my last settlement, which was the collection company. I had my last settlement, and those documents was filed, I believe, in September, which was last month. So I filed officially in October, and then that's my timeline of how everything went. So that's how long it take to sue. It's gonna be dependent on you, but that's how long that case went. But I realized that when people have an attorney, they don't play in people's face as much they play in my face because I'm a pro se litigant. I'm pro se. I'm not an attorney. I don't have an attorney. I can't charge lawyer fees. You know what I mean? This is something that attorney said. You're a pro se litigant, they're gonna try to do anything that they can to you. You can't charge them lawyer fees. All they gotta do is pay their lawyer fees. They're gonna fight you, right? But I have realized when I downloaded, I'll say like I looked over like 100 or so cases over the summer. When I tell you that these credit bureaus usually within 60 days they settle all of the companies out. I mean, all three credit bureaus that settle and each company that was on the credit report settled. They didn't already settle within 60 days, which means that if somebody else would have filed their lawsuit in October, by the time December happened, everybody would have been settled. It wouldn't be going into no next year of nothing. By October, if they file October, usually you'll see notice of settlement, notice of settlement, notice of settlement, or case was voluntarily dismissed. My professor said when you see case voluntarily dismissed, all that is a settlement. You know, some people just do voluntarily dismissed, or they may say notice of settlement. They had their stuff, they filed in October and they had it settled by the time December came. So it's all gonna be about how fast you're gonna be able to do. So basically I need to find an attorney. No, basically you need to think about sometimes these attorneys are not going to take your case. So when it came down to all of my cases, when I did my very first case, when I sued the companies on my credit reports, I didn't sue the credit bureaus at that time. I tried to find an attorney so bad. I tried to find an attorney. You don't have a case. You don't have a case. You don't have a case. We can't take your cases. We don't do those cases. Da, 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 da. A lot of attorneys only like to do identity theft. That's their favorite cases, right? So I said, okay, I don't have no choice but to do it. I have no choice. I got to do it. So I went through with the case. All of those accounts got removed from my credit reports. They never sold it to a collection company. It was like $40,000 worth of debt. I was happy, you know. I didn't know to ask like for money or anything like that. And then I didn't realize until after the fact, I thought that, oh, I have sent in dispute letters and I got it deleted. No, girl, when you did your lawsuit and when you finally did a dispute letter, they knew not to come and mess with you and verify the accounts. That's why it got deleted. Because you got to think about it. My very first case, I did that in state court. I never signed any type of agreement with anybody. So that's kind of how that worked. I had no choice but to file that case. When I did my case with Midland in 2022, I had the settlement with that one. It's a notice of settlement filed for November of 2022. I tried to look for every single attorney. When I tell you I sent my credit report, sent this to every single attorney, they would not help me. None of them would help me. You don't have a case. We can't take on these cases. We don't do these type of cases. You don't have enough information. Well, guess who got a settlement? Even when I did my case right now, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm ready for this." You know, my brother just died a few months ago. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I don't know what to do. So I'm thinking, I don't have time for this. I need an attorney. I need an attorney. I need an attorney. Oh, ma'am, you don't have a case. We don't take these cases. Da, 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 da. So I can't sit around and not get it done. So guess what? I'm already like telling myself, girl, you already said you already going to school now. You already working to be a lawyer. Take the class. So I took a class last fall that taught me how to sue. She taught me in the class. I emailed all of the professors that do like lawyer classes because none of these classes is I'm doing I was doing I have my degree in general studies, and then I'm going to get my degree in business. I graduate in December. None of my classes require civil litigation, one and two. None of them require it. So I end up emailing all of the professors like, hey, I need to be able to sue a company, but I don't know how to put a complaint together because when I did my first complaint, they when I did my first complaint, when my first lawsuit, when I sued the creditors, my very first lawsuit with the $40,000 worth of debt, when I did that, all of the lawyers kept saying she did failure to state a claim, failure to state a claim. That means you didn't state how they hurt you. You didn't state how they damaged you. You did not. I wasn't very specific because I only had one little small box. So I emailed all the professors. I said, hey, I need to learn how to do a lawsuit. I know I want to go to federal court. I need to know how federal court works. I need to know how to do a complaint. I need to know how to state an actual claim. One of the professors, which I took her, and guess what? She the professor for the college. So she was like, I normally don't do these classes, but I like to come in here and I get a feel of everything. She said, you need to take my class. I'm gonna teach you all of that. So when I took that class, within like the first 2 or 3 weeks, so last year, fall, she taught how to do a lawsuit. So I mean how to file a lawsuit. So that's when I typed my stuff up. That's what happened. I typed my stuff up. I learned how to do it. But I didn't know no attorney would take my case. I had no choice but to do it. But I'm telling you this, and this is why I put this together, because attorneys are not taking these cases. Even when I got on, even when I filed my case or whatever, I was scared still. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, because I didn't do part two of the class. I didn't want to do part two of the class. I thought I just put the lawsuit in and then they're gonna settle with me right away. All the other lawsuits I see within 60 days they settling. So by the time December come, only one that settled with me was Equifax. And I was like, okay, this is good, but like nobody else settled with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta do part two because I need to learn about motion to compel. I need to learn about how to act in court. I might have to show up in court. I need to do a case management report. I need to do all these different things. So I did not know how to do it. So I went and did it. But at the same time, I was calling lawyers, calling lawyers, calling lawyers. You don't have a case. I know you got a settlement with Equifax, but you don't have a case. You better hurry up and settle with these other companies because you don't have a case. And just ask, can you get out of it? Don't even, you asking for money and all this stuff, and you want this, you want that. Da, 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 da. They was telling me all this stuff, and they're like, you don't have a case. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, this lawyer's telling me I don't have a case. Maybe I don't have a case. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to take this class. So my professor actually told me, she said, hey, Keita, it's a part two to this class. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So I end up doing it though. And that's what taught me everything. But I'm only telling you this to tell you that I'm not saying don't look for a lawyer, but you go have to probably put it all in your own hands. So right now I'm trying to figure out, okay, so I can teach y'all the steps, right? Teach y'all the steps. Now I'm trying to get to the point. I could teach y'all how to do a complaint, but it's one of them things where you can learn how to do a complaint all you want. But don't forget, I learned this a whole semester. I learned this a whole semester. So I'm thinking, okay, how can I teach people this? I'm trying to get to a point where, even if you're not an attorney, I see there's a company here in Florida that they can put complaints together without being a lawyer. If I can do that, where it's like, I'm not acting as y'all lawyer, y'all gonna know what y'all need to do. But if I can do complaints and I can organize it, with your damages, your causes, have your different laws. And if I can organize it all, I just feel like a lot of people would be so much better because lawyers are not taking these cases. And I'm just being honest. They're not. And it's to the point too where I have certain clients where they stuff already put together. I have power of attorney over them. And it's like I'm trying to find them an attorney. And the lawyers are saying, oh, they don't have a case and they don't have a case. And I'm thinking, like, this case is better than my case. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I like their case better than I like mine. So if you saying that you can't do nothing with their case, they gonna have to sue on their own, but they so scared to sue on their own, they won't ever do it. So now what they're gonna do, sit around just let these accounts on their credit report. So keep in your head, honestly, that you know what, I'm gonna do this myself. I'm just gonna have to just bite the bullet. I'm just gonna do this myself. I'm gonna learn the steps. And I would talk about it more. Like somebody came on yesterday and she was like, oh yeah, I'm in federal court right now. She's suing a car company right now. She asking for 75,000. She's in Georgia. And we were going back and forth about, oh, okay, that's what they're saying. Do this or do that. Say this. We going over certain things. And I'm like, be aggressive, be aggressive. That's one thing I know. Eat or be eaten. Like, you better eat them or be eaten. But that's like my spiel on that. Because I'm telling y'all, I'm the kind that's gonna figure it out, but you gotta think about it too. If I can be honest, if y'all don't know me, I'm the kind of person where I had I say this because it just takes a certain kind of person to do certain things. Like I had 3 kids at home without a doctor. I mean, I'm finna go in my bedroom, I'm finna squat, and I'm finna pull this baby out. That kind of thing. I'm finna go in the bathroom, I'm finna squat and pull the baby out. And the last baby, he caught himself wiggling out. And I was like, what are you doing? Usually the baby be still or whatever. You know, you learn by experience. The baby be still, but this baby, he caught himself wanting to get out himself, and he's crazy right now. So I can understand that his little butt just shot out. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I know I ain't that strong. He like literally just shot out. But I'm the kind of person where it's like, when I lock in on something, I'm locked in. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Like that's the kind of person I am. But I will hope that y'all would have this mentality. But I also would hope that y'all had a mentality that y'all not waiting for nobody either. Like this have to work or it have to work for real. Like I'm not gonna wait. Like it's going to get done. So you just keep looking for an attorney, but you gonna take your own steps too, and just make sure you properly follow the steps so that when you do go to federal court, and I would suggest going to federal court instead of state court. And when you do go to federal court, you already made sure that you have everything in order. You just waiting to settle. You know, you just waiting to settle at that point. Because that's what I just feel like that's what they gonna do. You caught it at a serious time. Yes. Yes, fear is the most thing that hold me back. And I got this tattoo on my hand, y'all, and it look a mess. Now, y'all see this? I got this during a time where I was at like a crazy point in my life where it's like I can't deal with this. Am I built for this? I'm going through so much. I was going through a divorce at the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not built for this. I had all these darn kids. I thought I was gonna be married forever. What was I thinking? All this stuff. And I got this tattoo on my hand. It says just keep swimming. You know what that means? Just do one step at a time and just see what's gonna happen. Because what you're gonna do if you're a fish, Dory, if you're a fish and you just sit there, you're going to sink. But if you just keep swimming, you're going to find a way. Period. So that's kind of like my mentality. I am very fearful a lot of things. I was fearful on, oh my gosh, do I even have stuff to teach people? I'm saying the same thing to people. Even though I did my lawsuits, still everybody case is different. People not gonna want to sue. I shouldn't go on here live every day. Should I go live for 3 hours? Like these are thoughts that come in my head, and then I just tell myself, dude, shut up. And that's why I really like to listen to somebody named David Goggins, because David Goggins got that mind where he don't let that fear take over. So that's why I like to work out and I like to get myself mentally prepared for things, because like what you gonna do? Sit there and not get it done? Like that's the mentality. Like, girl, do something. Like I got that part of me that's like scared, and like it's a little girl that's like, oh my gosh, and I only show that side of me to myself really. But then I got that side like, dude, you better get this done. Like, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Like, get this done. We gonna do this homework tonight. Like, I'm like, tonight, it's 10 o'clock, I'm gonna get off the live, I'm gonna do some letters, I'm gonna do some of my homework. I'm gonna get this stuff done because it's just a small part of my life. It's gonna push me forward. I don't want to make excuses. Like that's the only reason. Like I hit all of my goals, but two goals this year. And you know how I got it done? By just doing it. Like just keep swimming, just keep getting it done. You know. And Julia, can you vouch for this with this mentality? Even with this thing, I'm like, okay, can I even put my books on TikTok? I don't even know how to do it. Or I gotta figure this out. And then what I do is I just get myself in a tunnel and I'm like, okay, let me just get it done. But now I see like, oh my gosh, this person got proof of credit cards, or this person is doing that, or this person finally learned what they need to do. This person is gonna be set up to sue. It's already working, and we're only what I just started doing it where I was locked in September. So like, no matter how fearful we are, you guys, we just have to push forward. And y'all know, I rarely just come on here without makeup, but I got a sty on my eye. I got a sty on this eye from using my same mascara that I refuse to throw in the garbage, and then I'm getting one on this eye, and I'm like, I don't care. Normally, I don't try to get on camera, look a certain type of way, and I'm like, I don't care. You get it done. Like, don't nobody care but you. Like, that's how I think about it. Like, just get it done. It don't matter. You're helping somebody. So let's not ever let fear hold us back. Like seriously, like just literally get it done. Like for real. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. My birthday is next month. I thought I was gonna be married forever. I did. I thought I was doing it right too. Like, I'm gonna be married forever. Like, what is going on? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you a Scorpio too? I didn't even know that you were still here. Okay, good. Okay, October or November though, because my birthday next month. But yeah, that's the mentality we need to have. So that's why I would like I found myself getting passionate these last few days and I'm like, girl, calm down. But in reality, I used to be soft. Like if you saw some of my YouTube videos, I'd be like, well, if that didn't work, so that's a certain part of my life. But when I'm hard on myself, I'm not gonna be soft on y'all. And I realize the people that get it. If y'all wanna I'm not saying I won't hold y'all hands and stuff like that, but I don't want no excuses. I know, I busted my daughter. She was like, "You trying to get an infection? You can't do that." And I'm like, that thing was pressuring me. That thing was huge. I had to bust it the other day. I had to bust it. Like it was not going anywhere. But I need to throw that mascara away. You pay $29 for one little tube of mascara. You just think at no means necessary this is going. Like, I'm not doing it. Okay. Okay. Well, happy early birthday to us. But even on my birthday, I'm gonna go live. Like, even on my birthday, I'm gonna go live. Like, I don't care. And I was thinking too, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to like yesterday, like not like yesterday, last week, I say I need to have my homework done by Thursday. Yo, I had my homework done on Friday. I say, you know what? I'm gonna give you grace today because I talked to myself, I'm gonna give you grace today because you got it done. It's not due until Sunday. But we're not doing this next week. Like we're gonna get this homework done. And I feel like, oh my gosh, like, you got this going on, that going on, you got all this, you got all that. But I think about how much stuff I actually got done, and that's all that matters to me. Like that's all that really like matters to me. But I gotta do letters, y'all. And if I sit here talking all day, ain't nothing gonna get done. So I talk to y'all. We know what we gotta do. Make sure y'all get y'all books. I suggest y'all get the package. We're on day 5 of this book right now. So we're on day 5. We just did that today. So we're gonna start day 6 tomorrow. If you all purchase your books, you're gonna get access to the course shortly. I just gotta wait an hour after I get your order. I'm giving you access to the course. All the documents that you're gonna need is in there. I think that's everything, but don't be timid in everything you do. Okay, I didn't let you for the number. I didn't get it yet. Okay, let me do. Y'all can't see my number when I add it. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I need some water. Excuse me. Seven, please. 7. Oh, excuse me. Can y'all see that? It says the book information. Like when I add it to the comments, can y'all see my phone number? Or are they blocking it? They don't want me to send it that way. Mm, mm. Make sure you have a good night. Nope, we don't see it. Oh my gosh, this whole time I be just like, y'all what y'all think I be doing when I be doing this? This girl checking her text messages. No, I'll be trying to see y'all the number. Okay, so the number is this 407. So I'm giving y'all a second. 407 374 2747. So 407 374 2747. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Amazing. Thank you. Okay, can y'all see it now? Okay, got it. Perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, perfect. Okay, y'all got to get some letters done, y'all. I'm gonna do my homework tomorrow. I got 2 more days. Today, Tuesday, right? Okay, I got 2 more days to have that stuff done. And I'm gonna continue to come on here. Don't forget class for the 9 o'clock class. Don't officially start anyway. This is the 9 o'clock class. This is not gonna start anyway until next Friday. So November 1st. It's gonna start next Friday. Um, but I'm gonna continue 9 o'clock hour. I ain't got nothing to do but to talk to y'all and tell y'all to do some stuff ahead of time. But let's not be timid. Let's not be scared. Yes, Alex got you down for 11 o'clock. Just have your report available, and then I'll call you 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Sure will. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll see you all later. Have a great night, everybody. Okay, perfect. All right, y'all. So that is the end of class. I've been getting, so this is the thing. TikTok flagged me for when I told y'all, you're gonna go to annualcreditreport.com to get your credit report. They flagged me. YouTube and Facebook would never care about me saying that. But it is what it is. That's where I'm selling my books at. The prices are cheaper there, so that's why I want to make sure I continue to have that available for you all. And I just reach so many people there, so I just want to make sure I don't mess up that avenue. But that's the end of class today. Tomorrow we're gonna definitely go over our goals. I'm gonna have a list of things that you all may want to look into to be able to go over in terms of your list of goals. I want stuff I want y'all to be able to look into. But yeah, we're gonna set our goals tomorrow. If you all have any questions, definitely let me know. But again, make sure if you want to do your letters, your 6 months of letters, get that stuff done right away because we're gonna start doing our letters day 9. So we got 4 more days now. We're counting it down. So I'll see you all later. You all have a great night. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.